Richie, set, hey!
Good afternoon, football fans. What's going on, y'all? We have reached day number 7 of 3 and out. 8 divisions in 8 days. Right here on IE Sports Radio, your directory for all that is sports. Today, we are talking NFC South. Man, it has been a crazy week. It's been a crazy year. I will not attribute this to 2020. It's just been a crazy week for me, just getting all kinds of things together and trying to just do all kinds of stuff at once. I graduated. Now I'm trying to find me a damn good job. COVID's over here messing around with my good job that I really liked, and now all that nonsense is happening, so my bad. But yeah, so it's been kind of a crazy week, but man, it has been awesome. It has been such a great week, and just, you know, spend time with my lady and just enjoying it, y'all. But it's been a lot of it's been a lot of work as well. So my apologies. Yesterday, 3 and I was gonna do double duty, but I just wanted to prepare more for the show. Woke up a little late, and at the same time, I just wanted to make sure I got, you know, a good show going for this one and for the one yesterday. If you tuned in yesterday, that was a lot of fun. We had our very first live StreamYard show. We had 4 primetime face-offs, and they were equally awesome, all of them. That was a lot of fun. So we had all that good stuff going on yesterday, and today we're back to 8 divisions in 8 days. I know today is kickoff, and we're not going to finish 8 divisions in 8 days before kickoff or before our first episode, our first regular season episode of 3 and Out, but it's all good. We're finishing up Saturday. I will have back here in the morning, 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 p.m. Eastern. We'll finish up with the NFC North, and the 8 divisions in 8 days will at least be done before kickoff for every other team, except for 30 of them. So, there you go, y'all. So, we got some good stuff lined up for y'all today. Just finished an interview with my boy Big Low Country. He's starting us off here with some Atlanta Falcons. Then we got Mr. John Felipe talking some Carolina Panthers. Next up here, we have got some Buccaneers. Should be fun with Mr. Robert. And then, of course, we'll be talking with Mr. Colin Reynolds. What would this show be, y'all? We need to have Saints gumbo in the house with good old Colin Reynolds, y'all. So, with that said, welcome to day 7 of 8 divisions in 8 days, right here on 3 and Out on IE Sports Radio, your directory for all that is sports. Welcome, football fans. Well, here we go. We are ready to rock and roll. We're doing our dang thing, and it's going to be all kinds of fun. Hope you're enjoying your day, because I certainly am. Today we got a little bit of a late start. I know the show should have been over right now, but instead it's just starting. So, it is what it is. Like I said, crazy, topsy-turvy kind of week. NFC week got a little jump up this week, but it's all good. We're rocking and rolling. We're going to continue on, and we're getting it done, y'all. We're not bowing out of this. We are getting done with 8 divisions in 8 days. We got 2 more shows, 8 more teams to go. We have 24 covered today. By the end of today, we'll have 28. And by the end of Saturday, all 32 teams will be covered by 8 divisions in 8 days. Having some fun. That was great talking with everybody. I mean, we've got, out of 24 teams, we've got 23. We, of course, had a little mix-up with the times. That's my fault on our NFC East show. But thanks to my boy Taryn, who's in the chat room right now, man. He was clutch to come in and talk some Redskins with me. Oh, sorry, Redskins. So, Washington football, and I got to get my swear jar going on. It's going to be hard to not say that team, to not say their former name. But Washington football, if you will. It's kind of weird. I wish that we could hurry up and pick a gosh dang mascot already, man. Come on. Like, can we just get a mascot? Like, anything. Like, come on, man. Start us off with something. But it's what it is. At the end of the day, y'all, I just feel like that needs to hurry up and happen. Like, for real. It's like having a Premier League team, you know what I mean? Like, in here, we have Washington FC. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like, Washington football, or whatever you want to call it. Like, come on. But anyway, is what it is. We're getting things going on here today with our first interview. I'm so excited for this. We just concluded this thing before we got off air. Kind of a funny story. I hit him up earlier today on Twitter. He was like, let's do this. And his lunchtime was actually a half an hour before the show starts. So we decided, why not just record the interview a half an hour before the show starts? Which would be pretty cool, right? And we did. So we just finished recording right now, and we're jumping on over right now into his interview, which we just concluded right before I got off air, right before I got on air. So looking forward to that, man. Once again, I just want to say big ups and shout out to everybody in the chat room here. Terrence says the Washington Whirlwinds, Wendy Whirlwind and or Walter Whirlwind as their mascot. Oh, Whirlwind, sorry. Whirlwinds and Whirlwind. You crack me up there. So, hey, man, just keep the jokes coming. But let's enjoy today's show, y'all. This is going to be a fun one. I'm really excited to talk some NFC South football. Really interesting division. I mean, we got Tom Brady in this thing now. Fournette's headed on over there. I mean, we have got quite the team. Gronkowski's now a part of this team. Can't forget about Evans. This team has really come a long way, but can they chase? Can they make it happen? Will those big bad Saints still be in control? Can't forget about the Falcons. The Falcons, in my opinion, had one of the best off seasons of the entire off season. All right, like they had a really good off season. And then the Carolina Panthers, I think you'll even hear Big Low Country right now in the introduction. This was a good football team. They put a lot of good things together. They really, really, really did a great job this past year. Telling you, Coach Rule, even bringing, PJ Walker over there. You have Teddy Bridgewater. I mean, you have two quarterbacks that can get the job done. Of course, I think Teddy's going to start, but regardless, I'm just saying, PJ's there no matter what. This is a good football team. I mean, it's kind of crazy. I mean, Coach Rule formerly coached Walker, at Temple when he was there, when they were both there together, and that was his quarterback for all 4 years, I think. So I'm just saying, a lot of cool stuff's going on. The Panthers look good. They really look like a sleeper team. This whole entire team is looking great. So this whole division is really weird. It's hard. This is going to be probably absolutely the hardest division for me to pick. First to fourth. It's going to be so hard for me to do. My final weigh-in today should be the toughest one that I will make all 8 divisions in 8 divisions in 8 days long. So without further ado, y'all, let's take ourselves a short break. When we get back, check out my interview with Mr. Big Low Country all the way from Georgia, from Atlanta, Georgia, and we will go ahead and check that out and see what he says about those Falcons and the rest of the division. You are listening to 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days. Third day of NFC Week and the 7th day here of 8 divisions in 8 days. NFC South Day on 3 and Out on IE Sports Radio. Right here on Spreaker.com. We will start right after this. Don't forget, y'all, once again, let me go ahead and rephrase that, because I definitely love to leave this off at the end of every break. But you are listening to IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll see y'all right now after this.
What's up, everybody? This is Taryn Rodriguez. Are you a fan of volleyball? Are you a fan of Thunderous Spikes? Then I have the show for you, Set Point, where I cover NCAA men's and women's volleyball, high school boys and girls volleyball, beach volleyball, and even professional volleyball. Catch the action every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's good, fight fans? It's your boy, Marcus Los Rate, here to give you what you want, here to give you what you need. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm coming to you live, straight from your mama's basement with a crispy, awesome white tea. They're coming to you live every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Powered by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Motorsports takes many forms, and there's one show on IE Sports Radio that's ready to cover it all.
I sure hope you're talking about you and I, Daryl, because I know the Extra Mile is the best place to go for everything motorsports related.
Yes, it is. From NASCAR to IndyCar to sports cars to everything in between, IE Sports Radio has everything covered for the fastest sport in the world.
Plus, don't forget all of our random shenanigans along the way.
That's right, Caitlin. So for plenty of motorsports coverage and plenty of Caitlinisms, check out the Extra Mile on IE Sports Radio with Daryl Kinsey Jr. and Caitlin Seen, Thursdays at 8 p.m.
Hey guys, it's Blake Henley, better known as H-Town Blake to some of you. Happy to announce that Bases Loaded is back in full force. We'll be bringing that high heat every Tuesday night here on IE Sports Radio. So come home, get ready, dig into that batter's box, and see if you can chase that high heat, baby. So we'll be coming to you live with all the stats, all the rundowns, all the division rivalries, and every team that's going to make the playoff push to get to that one and only October and get to the pinnacle of what baseball is, to hoist that Commissioner's Trophy when it's all said and done.
Welcome back, football fans. Well, here we go, y'all. Starting things off today with a bang. This interview was actually just recorded about 30 minutes before the show even aired, but it's the only way this interview could work out, and I'm so glad we could have him here on today's show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in here for his very first time, and hopefully very first time of many after today, all the way from the ATL, Atlanta, Georgia, in getting ready for his IE Sports Radio 3 and Out debut. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming die-hard Atlanta sports fan, welcoming Mr. Big Low Country. What's going on? How you doing today, man?
What's going on, big time? Y'all doing all right today, bro?
Hey, all day, brother. You know what I mean? Just doing it, trying to do the dang thing today, as I try to do every day. You know what I mean?
Hey, man, ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Y'all ready for this football season?
Oh man, so ready, man. I'm telling you right now, this is so exciting, man. This year, 8 Division 8 days got a little jumbled up. It kind of ran into the season this year. We still got to do the NFC North to finish it off. By the way, y'all listening to day number 7 of 8 Divisions in 8 days. We got the NFC North coming up to finish it off, and that show will be Saturday morning. It'll be 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 p.m. Eastern. We're talking the NFC North, and then that will conclude. Of course, we had our very first regular season episode of 3 and Out last night. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. First time on StreamYard, so we were live and in person. You could see us with all the primetime face-offs. So hopefully you enjoyed that. I know I definitely did. And hopefully we can get Big Low Country up on there pretty soon for a primetime face-off. That'll be a lot of fun, man. So with that said, let's get things started, man. You're of course a diehard. You love your Falcons, man. Very odd year. I mean, it even affected us here at 3 and Out. It's a really awkward year. I mean, of course, that's just my planning. But at the end of the day, we can just throw it out there and just say, all right, well, it's a 2020 kind of thing. But at the end of the day, man, regardless, a lot of good things came out of this year, and in a weird way. And I guess we can say that, here on 3 and Out, it is what it is. It might be a good thing we started late. Who knows? But at the end of the day, man, you've been a diehard Atlanta sports fan seems for a cool minute, man. You love your teams. So go ahead, man, tell us real quick. This is your first time here on the show. Let us know, how are you affiliated with the Falcons, man? How long have you been a Falcons fan? What became you a Falcons fan?
Well, I mean, I'm 35 years old. I was a Falcons fan, 3 stadiums ago, back whenever we played at Fulton County Stadium, back before Dion. So, I've been rocking with these Dirty Birds for a long time, man. Mm-hmm. I really feel like down here, we don't really get that much credit as a fan base, as Atlanta Falcons fans. But, we got a really good team this year, and I think we got a really good chance to do some special things.
I agree, man. You guys have your team a couple years back, man. We all know, I'm not going to bring it up, but you guys had quite the chance at it, and unfortunately just didn't work out. But at the same exact time, man, I mean, it is what it is. It's always next season, as we always say. And you know what, man, you guys have kind of, you kind of fell back a little bit. But regardless, it wasn't so bad. I feel like you guys really have still a lot of power on that team. You've revamped. You got some new pieces and everything. So let's go ahead and talk about last season real quick, though, man. So last year, far less than desirable. We understand that. We know it wasn't the best year. We know everything sucked. We know. But go ahead, man, and talk to us real quick and let us know your thoughts on last season as a whole. Give us every raw emotion that you can give us from last year as a Falcons fan.
I mean, as a Falcons fan, I think one of the main emotions that we were really expressing, kind of, here we go again. It was a situation where, we felt like there may be some promise going into the season. Our window was closing very quickly. It was one of those situations where we really wanted to, try to establish ourselves as one of the best teams in the NFC. Issues that we had on defense with stopping the run, getting to the quarterback are the two main things that you have to do on defense. We really didn't accomplish. Whenever Raheem Morris took over as our defensive coordinator, last 8 games of the season, we played as a top 5 defense. So he's our defensive coordinator this year. So moving forward, we feel cautiously optimistic.
I can say that I can definitely agree with you on that, because you guys, there was so much promise a couple of years back, and you know what? I feel like you guys have really regained a lot of that. I'm telling you, the moving pieces really look good. I mean, this year, you guys seem to make some big time pickups. You made some good things happen. So overall, let's just jump into the free agency, because I think there was a lot of pickups here that can really help out this year. So courtesy of overthecap.com, I love this website. This has been helping me out the whole 8 divisions in 8 days, as I've been saying every day on here on the show. So here we go, y'all. So first things first, Todd Gurley going back home, man. Well, at least to where his college is at, doing his thing, heading back home to Georgia, heading to play for these Falcons from the Rams. People have question marks surrounding the hell out of this, and I get it. The knee, he may not be so, what he once was when he came out. It is what it is. At the end of the day, sometimes all you may need is a change of scenery, and that could be huge. So you also have some big departures. Desmond Trufant, player that has been with the Falcons for a while, man. Long-time corner. He was on his way to the Lions to go play for Matt Patricia. Next up, Dante Fowler, as a matter of fact, will coming over with Gurley to play on the Falcons, and that's definitely going to help out that defense for sure, in my opinion. You had some key guys who stayed. Alan Bailey, I thought, was a nice re-signing there. Ty Sombrero, that was tough, losing him to the Titans. He's heading on over now to go play with Coach Vrabel. So, I mean, we have a lot of things, man. However, you guys did pick up, like, Darquez Denard, damn good player out of Michigan State a couple years back. And he's
really good player.
Very good player. Coming to play from the Bengals. He's looking good. Vic Beasley, though, big-time departure as well. Some people may not have liked him very much. I think he's pretty good. Once again, change the scenery could be all that he needs. But he's going over to play for somebody who played that position very well, Mike Vrabel himself. So it's like, we have so many departures, man. Hayden Hurst over to the Falcons. Luke Stalker coming over. You have Charles Harris. So it's like a lot, man. Of course, Jack Crawford leaves. You have Adrian Claiborne and Hooper on their way out. But at the end of the day, man, there's a lot of departures, a lot of things. And I didn't say them all. But if you'd like to mention any of them that I didn't mention literally anything, man, you want to about free agency, and tell us who you think will be the biggest roles that are coming in, and who are the biggest departures and biggest re-signings.
Well, I mean, number one, I believe that I believe we had a very, very good free agency. I think you know, a lot of those positions that we filled with free agents that left during free agency, I actually believe that they were upgrades. Austin Hooper, really, really good player. I really love Austin Hooper, but I really believe that Hayden Hurst is a faster Austin Hooper that, you know, may be able to help stretch the field with seam routes and, you know, get vertical, which is one thing that Austin Hooper really didn't do that well. He was a good possession receiving tight end, but as far as stretching the field, he really didn't do that. Vic Beasley, to be honest with you, Falcons fans have a love-hate relationship with Vic Beasley, but I think Dante Fowler is a considerable upgrade. I think Vic Beasley, I just don't think he just wasn't big enough. He needed to put some weights in his pockets. He couldn't, you know, he couldn't get people moved. And, you know, at the end of the day, that's the goal. You want to try to move against this wheel. That's the main object of football, the offensive and defensive line. So, I mean, you know, Vic Beasley, he's a heck of an athlete, very fast, but, you know, he just didn't weigh enough. He was getting killed in the run. As far as rushing the quarterback, when he didn't get to the quarterback, he left lanes wide open. So, I think that, you know, I think going into the season after free agency, our team a whole lot better. As far as Desmond Trufant leaves, I loved him. He's a really great player. But I think A.J. Terrell in this Dan Quinn defense, I think he might be like a carbon copy, dare I say, Richard Sherman, just a little bit faster.
Okay.
You know, lanky cornerback, really good speed. His main thing is, because I know that a lot of people seen what happened in the national championship game. We just hope he doesn't bite on those double moves that they have in the NFL. So I really think that he has potential to be very, very good. He's been going up against Julio in practice, and I've been hearing a lot of great reports.
That's awesome, man. So awesome. So yeah, what have you heard in camp, man? What are some things you heard in camp that got you excited?
Man, to be honest with you, I've been hearing a lot of great things about our backup running back. And I forgot to mention Todd Gurley. You know, Todd Gurley, he's an upgrade over Devontae Freeman. Last year, the man had 14 touchdowns. People forget that. And I think that he's going to have more opportunity. A lot of people are concerned about the knee. I think that at this point, it's more of a pain threshold kind of thing. Yeah. Like how well could he deal with that pain? But our backup running back, I've heard Brian Hill is looking very, very good. As a matter of fact, he moved up to our number 2 spot on our depth chart. So all the fantasy owners out there, if you're looking for a stash running back, I'll check out my boy Brian Hill. I think he's going to do some very, very big things this year.
There you go, man. All righty. Well, too bad maybe I can go pick him up still. Let me go see the friends. But that's awesome, man. You know what? That's great to hear. And I'm glad to hear this team is gelling. They're coming together. I mean, you know, let's get into the draft real quick and then we'll continue. But so real quick, man, courtesy of AtlantaFalcons.com. With the 16th overall pick, you went ahead and picked up A.J. Terrell. Good player, man. Hoping I butcher his name there. But the dude comes out of Clemson. The guy knows how to win. You know, Dabo Swinney has his way with these athletes. And you know what? They respect him. They love him. And he really helps produce some of the best damn athletes we got out there right now. So I'm really excited to see young men like AJ get out there and play ball, because this guy can play, man. Like, he is such a good athlete. And I feel you guys really got you got value in this pick. This young man can play good football. He's fast. He's got good feet. He can catch. I mean, God, he's like Boobie Miles, man. You know what I mean? From Friday Night Lights. You know what I mean? Like, he can throw the ball too. Like,
yeah, man. He's a bad man. a lot of people don't realize, but when he went to college, before he went to college, he played wide receiver. So he's going to be really good from the highlights I've seen. He's been really good at attacking the ball at its highest point. Now, like I said earlier, he's been going up against Julio Jones in practice, and y'all might not believe me, but I seen this man run Julio Jones down and deflect the pass on Julio Jones, and we all know how hard that is to do.
Yeah,
so, AJ Terrell, I think he's going to be. I think it's going to be a really good pick for us, man.
Absolutely, man. And number one, keeping up, straight up with Julio is that's hard enough. Let alone deflecting the pass or catching up to him. All right, so I'm just saying, like that's talent. And to bring somebody with
I'm gonna tell you like this, bro. You got a better chance of talking a monkey out of a banana tree before you can run Julio Jones down.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's on speed right there, bro.
No, he's got wheels, man. He is extremely fast. Still one of the best receivers in the league. So I'll tell you right now, man, he has made a name for himself and become one of the premier elite receivers in the game. So to say that a rookie is, we're not trying to say that he's able to contain him. He's able to come in and do this and that. I'm just saying, we're just saying that at the end of the day, for him to be able to still, like, at least to hang with him, he's coming out of college. And then, of course, they always say, the transition, the hardest transition that you will hear a lot of people say is corner from college to the NFL.
Oh, yeah. I mean, because you got to think. I mean, offenses are so more. I mean, there's so much more. There's so much more diverse in the NFL. Like I was saying, they have the double moves and they have the pick plays in the NFL. So opposed to in college, where they have a route tree, but it's nothing like what these guys do in the NFL.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And they are bigger, stronger, and faster with the wide receiver.
Exactly. The speed is unreal, man. The speed from college.
It's crazy.
It really is. The speed from college to professionals is a jump, man. I mean, you got these guys who are, coming out, running fast. They're fast in college, but my gosh, man, you get to the NFL and it's like the speed it's just ridiculous how fast these guys are, So,
whole nother animal, bro. Whole nother animal.
Absolutely. So, once again, to say that about Terrell, man, great athlete. So, glad you guys were to pick him up. Second round, Marlon Davidson. This dude is a beast, man. He was definitely one of the best defensive linemen, I think, in college last year. Really, really good player. Big boy, man. He can definitely get some. Somebody who I think is a strong, powerful young man with a low center of gravity. He plays really well. He plays well in the trenches. He plays at the chest level. He's not somebody who likes to stand up a lot. He's not a chaser. He's a go forward kind of guy. He's a big mauler type of cat. And I'm really glad you guys were able to pick him up as well to help out that defensive line. Then you also went ahead and picked up center Matt Hennessy out of Temple. Don't know too much about him, but you're beefing up the offensive line, as well as linebacker Mikael Walker out of Fresno State. Once again, don't know too much about him, but another big player there to pick up there for some some more depth of the linebacking core. Safety Jalen Hawkins out of Cal. I'm a Pac-12 guy, so know a thing or two about him. And then we got punter Sterling, looks like Horfrichter out of Syracuse. Help me, hey, who knows, man? A punter could always be useful. So at the end of the day, man, what do you think about the draft, and what guys do you think come in and make the most immediate impact for you guys? Immediately.
Well, of course, we touched on AJ Terrell. I think he's going to be a very, very serviceable cornerback for us. Marlon Davidson, that was my favorite pick of the draft. I mean, you got a big, just like you said, a big mauler guy. And, a lot of people were talking about Derek Brown coming out of the draft out of Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
But, Marlon Davidson, from the tape that I've watched, I'm not just saying this because I'm a Falcons fan, but his ceiling looks like it's higher than the Derek Brown's. Now, I don't want y'all to look back at this listen to this 10 years from now and pick on me if I'm wrong. but from what I see, Marlon Davidson, I definitely think he's going to be a starter on our team, hopefully for a long time. And Matt Hennessy, that is a very, very intriguing name. A lot of people in Atlanta really like him just because his name is Hennessy. But yeah, you know, the thing is that, you know, we have Alex Mack at center right now. So moving forward, I think what we're trying to do is put him in that left guard position, and, you know, just get him to get acclimated to playing on the offensive line and kind of groom him to be our center in the future. So what I'm hearing is that for the first few games, we're going to have him switching in and out with James Carpenter. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, sooner or later, he's going to take over that starting position at left guard.
That's big time, man. That is big time. So you guys already got a lot of you know, big time players coming your way. I feel like the draft you guys had, in my opinion, I think you guys had overall collectively the entire NFL this year. I think you guys had the best offseason, in my opinion.
Really?
Because, absolutely, man. Because, once again, man, that Terrell pick is just unreal. What he's going to do for this team, I'm so excited for him to get out there and play football, man. He is just a dynamic player, somebody that I really admire as a player. He's going to do great things for you guys. Next up, that Davison pickup, watch what he does. I really think he's going to ball out and help out the interior of that defensive line. Very stout player, and he's smart. He is no dummy. He is a smart young man, and he can play good football. You see what he does? When he bull rushes, the first thing he wants to do is bull rush and then, you know, find the ball. He doesn't sit there and bull rush and go forward, you know, and just try to like just slam somebody to the ground. He'll bull rush, get to where his depth is, set, find the ball, and go get him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he does smart things that you would see in a defensive lineman. He uses quick moves when he has to, when he knows he can speed a guy, but, you know, every now and then he's using a lot of power. He's also taking up double teams, and you know, even big on big when it's B on B. He'll free up room for attackers to flow. I mean, he is a very attentive football player, and I really like what he's gonna bring to the table for you guys as well, man. You guys also have what's that dude's name? You have a defensive tackle that is a damn monster. I hope.
Talk about Grady, baby.
Grady. That's right, man. What'd you call him?
Well, see, so basically in Atlanta, you know, people who are from Atlanta, we call them Grady babies because that's the big hospital in Atlanta.
Oh,
I always call him Grady baby Jared because, you know, he represents the city so well. I mean, we love Grady here. Whenever he got his contract extension, and we were so happy because, I mean, he's a homegrown product, man. You know, we love Grady. AJ Terrell, he's also a homegrown product. Westlake High School, Westlake. You know, and we love Grady, man. I think Marlon Davidson, beside Grady Jarrett, I think that's going to be a heck of a combination. One of the beautiful things is that those guys, they could play from anywhere between the zero technique, head up, all the way to the 5 technique. They could play at defensive tackle, nose, or they could kick out to end. So that's one thing that Dan Quinn really takes advantage of because he really likes for our players to be able to play different positions, and all of these guys definitely can.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Yeah, especially, I mean, to think, man, it's true. To think Grady's got that kind of speed to play. He can play a 0. Okay, straight up. He can play right over the center. Yeah, he can play 0 technique or 1. You can throw him out in the 3, and then you can flex this man out to a 5. I mean, seriously, I don't know if I mean, this might be pushing it a little bit. This is more of a linebacker, if anything, or a really fast defensive end. But my gosh, I mean, every now and then I wouldn't hesitate to just see what it would look like in a speed package and throw him on a 9. You know what I mean? Like,
man,
Grady's fast, man. He's people don't think he's that fast. People don't think he's that fast, and then you see him play, and he's a lot faster than you think he is. So I'm just saying, man. I mean, you guys got some good athletes there, and I'm really excited for what's to come for this defensive line. So, very, very, very good stuff. Okay, I mean, look again. I mean, being a little too crazy there. I know about Grady on a 9. But I'm just saying, like, he's fast. All right, he's fast, and he's a hell of an athlete. So, of course, like I said, of course, get a little too hyped up, like I said. But I think Grady's perfect where he is. Okay, playing from the 1 to the 3 for damn sure. But overall, I'm just saying, he's versatile enough to where if you absolutely needed him if you needed him out there on the end spot, honestly, I seriously would not hesitate to throw him out there because I feel like he is somebody who's so driven. That's awesome. He's homegrown. I didn't even know that. He puts on. That's his city. He's going to ball out, and he's somebody who's going to give you 100% every single play. He never takes plays off.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's always. Yeah, man, and you got to love guys like that because that type of attitude is infectious, man, because, whenever you're playing football, it's one of those situations, third quarter, fourth quarter, you're tired. Whenever you look to the man that's next to you and you see that he's still giving everything that he has, that makes you want to do the same thing yourself. So, it's definitely a beautiful thing.
Absolutely, man. So let's get it, man. I'm excited for this. Let's go ahead and jump into the rest of the league, man, because we only got a few minutes left here. Because I got to jump on air for this interview right now, as a matter of fact, kind of funny. But with that said, man, this year, what are you expecting from your team this year?
Playoffs.
Okay.
We're going to the playoffs. We're going to make a deep run in the playoffs. We're going to surprise a lot of teams. I plan on winning our division. So whenever the Saints fan comes on later, tell them that the guy from Atlanta tell them that Big Low Country said that we're winning the division. And tell the Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan that Big Low Country said that we're winning the division. And I honestly think that the Carolina Panthers are going to come up second in the division. I know that everybody's on the Tom Brady hype train right now, but I think people are sleeping on that team in Carolina.
No, Coach Rule is going to be there. You got Teddy there. You know what? I really feel like, Ron, for many years, I'm a big fan of Ron Rivera, but at the end of the day, he went where I think he was needed the most. And this Panthers team, I'm telling you, I have them as one of my sleepers this year, so absolutely. So, yeah, man. And by the way, you already kind of got into the segment, but, yeah, man, I will let them know for sure coming up. We got Panthers after this, then we got Bucks, then we got Saints last, of course. Colin Reynolds, our boy, man. Saints gumbo, baby. He always says that, man. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. That's how you make a good gumbo. Well, he always says that, man. Saints gumbo. That's what they're gonna do, and he's awesome, man. So he's coming up last. I'm sure he'll be listening to this live and everything. But all right, man. So here's your chance. There are 3 other teams in the division that you guys don't like. You said some nice things, said some funny things right now, but let's have some fun real quick for the final segment of this show. We call it Stick It To 'em, man. So you are gonna get your chance to say whatever you want to say. You could be mean, you could be funny, you could be respectful, however you want to do it, man. Talk about how you think those other 3 teams are gonna do this year. Go in depth, however you want to do it. I know you already did, but just if you want to, do it again, have some fun with it. But without further ado, man, stick it to 'em.
Well, look, man, the fact of the matter is that we know, first of all, that the Falcons are going to win the division. Look, New Orleans Saints, everybody's still on the Drew Brees hype train. I really got a feeling that by the end of the year, we're going to see Jameis Winston taking some snaps at quarterback because, let's be honest, Drew Brees' arm is not looking the same way that that's been looking in the past. Michael Thomas, we call him Slant Thomas here in Atlanta because all he does is run slant routes. I know that it's just a matter of time before he runs one of those slants, and our boy Keanu Neal is going to knock some Sonic rings out of the man's pocket.
You're cold. You're cold.
As far as Tampa Bay, I know everybody's on the Tampa Bay train. Look, that Tampa Bay team reminds me a lot of the Philadelphia Eagles a few years ago. That was the quote-unquote dream team. At the end of the day, they still got to put their offense together. You got Tom Brady and a new offense, and we don't know what Tom Brady's going to do without the hoodie. So, everybody wants to crown Tampa Bay. Look, y'all got to show me something first. And look, as far as the Panthers fans, I know that a lot of y'all are still sore about the whole Cam Newton situation, but look, the fact of the matter is, Teddy Bridgewater is a really, really good quarterback. Y'all need to appreciate that, man. Y'all really have a chance to do some really, really special things with Teddy Bridgewater.
I agree. I completely agree, man. So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, once again, y'all, Big Low Country, man, that was so much fun. I'm so glad you were able to join us here today, man. Without further ado, let's get on into the ending here, the outro, because that was awesome, brother. Where can all these diehard Falcons fans listening right now, and all the football fans out there as well, find you on Twitter, man? Anything else you'd like to share?
Hey, man, y'all can find me on Twitter. I'm at Big Low Country. That's country spelled with the K, Kuntry. That's at Big Low Country. Y'all hit me up, man. If y'all ever need to talk about some sports, have any questions, have any fantasy football questions, I'm always here to speak to you, man. Thank y'all so much for having me on the show, man. I really appreciate it. Hey, and I hope you give me a call back sometime.
Hey, man, without a doubt. Look, man, we got primetime face-offs coming our way. I'm telling you, we got so much coming our way, man. For next primetime face-off, the next time will actually be September 30th. If you want to jump on, you will be taking on a Green Bay Packers fan for Monday Night Football, man. If you're down, we'll throw you in there.
Hey, man, just give me a call and I'll come running.
Hey, that sounds good to me, brothers. All right, man. Hey, thanks again. I'm so glad you're able to join us here today, man. Have you a wonderful rest of your day at work, brother. I know you're on your work, we're not doing your thing, but hopefully you can tune in, listen to the show while you're working every now and then. Today it's a 3-hour show, so enjoy it. And thanks again for being a part of us here today, man. We appreciate you. God bless you and your family. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, man. Take care. God bless. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, man. Rise up. A-time down.
There you go, brother. Take care, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Big Low Country. That was awesome, man. Great dude. Had some fun there. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I will do it for this segment. When we come back, we're talking some Carolina Panthers coming your way. You're listening to 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days, day number 7. Day number 7 and day number 3 here on NFC Week, talking NFC South. Right here on iSports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this.
Hey guys, Dave the Fried Man here to tell you about the newest IE Sports Radio show, the Kansas City Shuffle. We'll be talking football, reigning Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs, baseball, your 2015 World Series Royals, college hoops, college football, and much to Ryan's delight, hockey.
Oh, wow.
Make sure you catch up with us on Twitter at KC Shuffle Show. You can also catch up with my colleague Ryan the Pezquire at the Pezquire Fool
on Twitter.
Make sure you check us out on IE Sports Radio at 6 p.m. Central Time to 7:30.
Oh, yeah.
And Ryan, any final words for the listeners?
Yeah, come on in, enjoy the winning we've been having here in Kansas City lately, and don't be jealous. Bye-bye.
IE Sports Radio,
your direct feed for all things sports. Nope, that's not it. Cut that.
Hey sports fans, do you like wine? Well, we've got the show for you. This is Let's Wine About Sports, a show where we talk about wine and sports simultaneously. From the classic Cabernet Sauvignon all the way down to the grapes that you've never even heard of before. Oh yeah, we cover it all. And we'll talk about a little bit of sports as well. Football, hockey, collegiate, women's sports, it doesn't matter. We're going to talk about it all, and we're going to whine about it all. So join me Monday at 8 p.m. on IU Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Were you listening to a great game on USRN, but then the Wi-Fi crashed in the final seconds? Or do you simply want to listen to the best calls we here at USRN have to offer? Well then, you need to go check out our Audio Boom page. It holds a collection of our best calls that you don't want to miss. How do I get there, you ask? You can download the Audio Boom app and look up Ultimate Sports Radio, or simply go to audiobook.com/Ultimate Sports Radio. And as always, thanks for listening and making USRN one of the most talked about sports networks on Mixler.com.
Motor City, Detroit, stand up. This is the Mitten Sports Podcast Show with AW covering Detroit Mitten Sports from your Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons. Also, Michigan State Wolverines and the Michigan State Spartans. Listen to me every Sunday right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. What up, though, Detroit?
Hey, what's up, BS3 sports fans? If you love listening to the BS3 Sports Show, check out the weekend wrap-up every Monday at 12:15 Central Time, 1:15 Eastern, recapping the weekend in sports like you never heard it before. Comedy, interactive chat room, it's a must-listen. Weekend wrap-up on Spreaker.com, part of the X Squad. Check it out. You won't be disappointed.
Attention, all sports fans! If you're someone who wakes up each morning with lists of sporting events to go along with your to-do list for the day, then you just might be a diehard. The world of sports is as vast as the ocean is deep, including the major leagues, the minor leagues, the college, and everything in between. This is me, your boy Larry B of IE Sports Radio, welcoming you to join me every Monday evening at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on The Defining Moment, a show that focuses on what really matters in the sports world, sports themselves, and nothing outside of them. Once again, tune in for The Defining Moment with me, your boy Larry B, every Monday evening at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on IE Sports Radio, right here on Spreaker.com. We'll see you there.
Soccer Scoreboard Show with your host, Gabriel Montoya. This is the show for soccer, football fans, or whatever you call the beautiful game. Every week, I tackle the latest and greatest news from around the soccer world. From the English Premier League, to the World Cup, to MLS, Liga MX, and more. You can listen to the Soccer Scoreboard Show and our lineup of fantastic guests every Friday at noon here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
From the home plate to the nets, the end zone to the finish line, here nothing is off limits and no sport is safe. Not what it seems with your host Caitlin Seam, bringing you sports like you've never heard before. Catch me Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, right here on IE Sports Radio. The only question is, are you ready?
Lopan, they didn't even want you. Heck, they didn't even want me. But you know what? Right about now, they have no choice. Looking for the real sports talk? Talk that's for us, the people? Look no further. The Wait a Minute Show, a prime time sports comedy cocktail that tucks you in at night. Join me and Lopan Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 2livestewsradio.com and Saturday 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the waitaminuteShow.com. Sounds like a plan to me. Ain't that right, Lopan? Indeed.
Hi everybody, it's Calvin here from USRN, here to give you an important message. Since 2017, we have done our absolute best to provide you with nothing but the highest quality of sports calls in the greatest of quantity possible. Thanks to you, our station has grown more than we ever thought. That's why, with your help, we would like to grow even further. Just think, twice the amount of your favorite calls, 24 hours of coverage, talk shows, play-by-play, game-by-game analysis, and so much more. That's right, USRN2 is officially in development, but we can't do it alone. We have set up a GoFundMe page that you can access from our homepage on the left of your screen. We also are planning special giveaways and prizes to our highest donors. Our goal here at USRN is to bring you the best calls possible at no cost to you. In order to continue to do that, we need your help now. Please check out our GoFundMe page, and if you would like to know how you can help, you can email usrnradio@gmail.com. Without your support, we couldn't do what we do.
College football, and do you want to hear a college football show dedicated to all that is college football, including junior college and the CCCAA and the NJCAA, the NAIA, and the NCAA, including Division III, Division II, Division I AA in the FCS, and Division I A in the FBS. Well then, look no further. Join myself, Larry B., and my colleagues, Mr. H-Town Blake Henley, and Mr. Christian Espinoza, each week during the college football season for the latest in college football on 3 and Out College Edition, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Welcome back, football fans. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, y'all. My apologies there for the lengthy break. We, man, I was taking care of crap on the phone, and I ended up having to wait. You guys know wait times, all that nonsense. And, wrong time to call, but it's all good. So I was doing a whole bunch of things during the break. My apologies. So we are back and ready to rock and roll. Time's a little short, but it's okay, because we got somebody here who's dang good at summing things up and doing a really good job of just knowing his team very well. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so glad to bring him here today. He, of course, is a member of the IE Sports Radio family and just overall diehard Panthers fan. He is one half of the Brothers Blue on YouTube, and he is just the real deal, man. I'm so glad to have him here today to talk about those Panthers who could be making splashes for years to come. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in the one, the only, Mr. John Felipe. What's going on, John? How you doing, man?
Hey, what's good, Larry B? How you guys doing?
Man, doing great, but we miss you on the show, man. Straight up.
Oh, I definitely miss doing the show as well.
Man, I want to get you back on this thing, brother. But I know last year was just crazy too. Man. I know you were moving and you had school and all kinds of stuff happened, man. This is like, we just couldn't. I know we just couldn't. You couldn't stay aboard for the show, man. It sucks.
Last year, yeah.
It was a rough one, but I'll tell you what, man. This is this awesome to at least have you back for this, and we gotta get you back here, man. At least doing some PR or something for us, man.
Oh no, I'm down to do anything I can do.
Hey, brother, we're looking forward to having you, man. Where you at now, man? You doing your thing in school? Did you graduate already? What happened?
Yeah, no, I'm doing grad school.
Yeah,
hey,
that's the boy. Yes. When did you get your BA, man?
Oh, I graduated last year, and now I'm doing my master's degree. So,
attaboy,
moving on to bigger, greener pastures.
Oh, I know, I feel you. But I just finished my master's, and that thing was evil. So I feel you. Like that was hard. That's awesome, man. How many semesters are you? I mean, are you? This is your first semester in, second, third? What happened?
This is my first now.
Oh man, well, hey, brother, I'm proud of you, man. I'm glad you're doing this, and definitely not easy. I'll tell you that right now, but it's rewarding. I'll tell you that it's really rewarding. So you know how it goes, brother. So with that said, man, let's get on into a little bit of Panthers talk, man, because we got some things to talk about, brother. We really do. So first things first, let's go ahead and jump on in to last season. So first things first, you are a diehard, of course, and these Panthers were weird. They had a good season. It was cool. Then it wasn't. I mean, overall, you guys had a pretty okay year. And it wasn't actually. I'm sorry. Okay, last year's. I don't know. I want to say a lot about the Panthers last year. Okay, because. Okay. I'm trying to say positives because I know you guys went 5-11 and it sucked and you guys were at the bottom of the barrel, but there were glimpses, in my opinion, John, of like sparks of greatness everywhere. There really was. It's just you couldn't put it together, and I just felt like in every one of those games you guys played, there was definitely a nice chance of, at least by the half, a nice chance of like this team could actually pull this off, and then you guys just kind of fell apart when the ground. A lot of that was just everything just kind of fell apart at the last minute. But then we looked at this offseason, and dude, you guys grabbed Coach Rule. You guys have PJ Walker now. You guys have Teddy. You guys have a great defense. Unfortunately, Luke will retire. But overall, man, this team has just gotten, in my opinion, this is my sleeper for next year, man. Like, I mean, for this season. I know it sounds crazy to some people, but I'm very high on the Panthers, and I want to hear what you got to say, too. But before we get there, man, talk about last season. 5-11, finishing bottom of the barrel. I know it sucks, but tell us about last season. Every raw emotion as a Panthers fan.
No, so last year was, and really the last couple of years, were characterized by one thing, Cam Newton's injuries. So I don't know if you remember, but 2 years ago, we began 6-2, but then we had a huge Monday Night Football catastrophe where we got demolished by the Pittsburgh Steelers, and under that same time span, Cam Newton had a reoccurring shoulder injury, and from that point on, he couldn't throw deep, and when you don't have a deep ball, it shortens the defense, kind of gets in the way of play to play. You can stack the box. We didn't get much going on with the running game. So ever since we started 6-2 2 years ago, the injury to Cam's shoulder has been the story. And then fast forward to this past season, Cam's shoulder injury was all healed and fine, but then during the preseason, he goes and hurts his foot. And so in the first game, it's apparent he's not the same quarterback. He's limping. He can't run. He states after the fact that he literally could not run. He realized this when he got onto the field. And from that point on, it was really just a Cam Newton-less Panthers. The core was there. We did start 6-2 before this injury 2 years ago, and then now the core was still there from that season, and really one of the strongest Panthers teams outside of quarterbacks that I had seen in my time in the last decade and a half watching the team. But without a quarterback, it's really not there. Kyle Allen was respectable. He was able to do a little bit here and there with the scraps that he had, but his upside, he has a very, very low ceiling, and his floor was also pretty low. I think it was more of the fact that he had Christian McCaffrey there to kind of bail him out in a lot of situations that allowed him to thrive and allowed Panthers to thrive. But after a few weeks, that did wear off, and there was tape of him. So after that point, it was starting to, the losses started to accumulate. And I am not too mad about that, to be honest, because we weren't going to go anywhere realistically into the playoffs with Kyle Allen. So I will take Derek Brown, our draft pick, that we had to, get a certain record to get, if that's what it means.
Absolutely. You guys, man, there was a lot in this offseason. I felt like you guys, man, let's just go ahead and get on to the offseason, man, because you guys, it's one of those years where I feel like something's going to happen for you guys. I mean, I don't know why I feel this way, but every year, don't get me wrong, okay? I've been wrong. I've said this about the Browns the last 2 years, and well, time to move on. But, okay, but I'm just saying, man, you guys feel like there's something. I know it's not saying a whole bunch, but you guys are a special team, man. You guys went ahead, and of course, Coach Rule come on over, and I think this is a special thing. Okay, PJ Walker got down in the XFL last year, okay, playing for the Houston Roughnecks. Then he led in like a 5-0 season, and they looked really, really good. Coach Rule comes from Baylor, of course. However, before that, he was at Temple. Who was his quarterback at Temple? None other than PJ Walker. Well, what happens after that? You guys also acquire Teddy Bridgewater. So I'm not saying that Teddy's not going to be the starter, because we know he is. However, I think Teddy and Walker really share a lot of the same similarities. I feel like they are both very similar in their play. They are both extremely fast, very explosive type quarterbacks that are not going to make it easy on any defense. They're going to run around. They're going to, if they see a crease, they're going. They have good arms. They can toss it. I mean, overall, I just feel like this is the new quarterback. This is, the pocket passer the pocket passer is here, but then again, at the same exact time, the pocket passer is not really going extinct, but is becoming second place to this new scrambling, Mike Vick, Donovan McNabb, even going back further, Randall Cunningham, Warren Moon type of, even going further, Fran Tarkenton type of player, so it's like the quarterback. So it's like we're really making that move now. So, I mean, the chemistry is there, of course, between Coach Rule and Walker, but of course he has Teddy there as well. That's once again more likely going to be the starter. So at the end of the day, man, this Panthers team, I feel like just that move alone was big. So can you talk about that real quick, John? What does that move mean to you?
That move was great because he was one of the most sought-after free agents of the XFL, and I think it does two things. I think, one, it allows us to have a good, solid backup quarterback, maybe a little competition between him and Will Grier, but he's got a ton of upside. And then, two, that does speak to Matt Rule and his ability to connect with players and for players to remember him and want to work with him, because not only PJ Walker, but also Robbie Anderson went to Temple and worked with Matt Rule, and that's what compelled him to come to the Panthers. So it says a lot about Matt Rule, and I'm excited about him. I think that's one of the big things I want to touch on about this offseason is Matt Rule and his presence. But I think PJ Walker, he's going to do great things as a backup, and I think there's even potential for him in the future to become a starter, if not here, somewhere in the league.
No, I completely agree with you, and I think that's a great response. And you, man. I've been wanting to talk to you Panthers football for like the last 4 months, man. Like, no joke, man.
Yeah.
Like, because I mean, this team is the team I'm high on this year. I'm excited for this team, and it sucks because, man, my team's got through the very first game. We're in Carolina. We're going to Carolina right now. You know what I mean? Like, the Raiders are on the road. We're flying on over there. If not Friday, Saturday. I mean, we're gonna be there. We're gonna be in the building at Bank of America Stadium, man. I mean, we're gonna be there to play and hope it's a good game for both teams, man. And hey, someone's got to win, someone's got to lose, but it's the first game, and it's a team that I'm very excited for both teams. I think the Raiders finally got something right for the first time in a long time, and the Panthers just got a lot of good going for them. So I think this is going to be one of the best games of the week, man. I really do, and I'm really excited for that, and I want to see these two teams clash. So let's take a look at this offseason, okay? We see Cam. The departure of Cam to the Patriots. Talk about that real quick, man, because we even had to talk about that with our Patriots fan, even though that was just a little bit of it was just a notes I was reading. Chris Blackie wasn't live, but he had his notes that he wrote in because he was busy. But, that was big. I mean, he talked about Brady leaving, and also talked about the addition of Cam Newton. And it's the same thing here. You guys have Cam, long time, it wasn't the legacy, the dynasty, if you will, what Tom Brady and the Patriots were, but still, that's been your quarterback for the last decade. Him and Ron did good things together. I mean, they got to a bowl. Unfortunately, didn't win it, but so what? Still had a lot of good things there. So talk about that departure, man, and also of Ron Rivera. I mean, talk about those departures, the departure for both coach and head coach and quarterback.
Yeah, it was definitely an end of an era for the Panthers. It does just feel weird. I was looking at the captains were just recently revealed a few hours ago, and seeing the captains that we have now compared to, like, say, 2015, when we had these familiar faces, the Luke Kuechly's, Ryan Khalil's, Thomas Davis, Julius Peppers. I mean, it feels Cam Newton. It feels like a definitively different time to be a Carolina Panthers fan. In terms of Cam Newton, that was definitely bittersweet. I wouldn't even say bittersweet. It was pretty bitter. The sweet came afterwards, trying to look at it from a positive outlook. Yeah. But as I alluded to before, his injuries kind of put a lens over these last two seasons, and so we could only go as far as he could go, and he could only go as far as he was healthy. But now I think he's healthy, and so the fact that we released him, I and much of Panther Nation does not agree with this move. I would still have Cam here. I mean, honestly, I want him to succeed, but I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna be both happy and hurt when he succeeds as a Patriot because I know what he still has in him. The injury was kind of a freak accident, and the shoulder was something that was bothering him for years. So these are two things that could be explainable. It's not like he's had an injury-prone career or that he is injury-prone in any way. So yeah, that's definitely that's going to be bittersweet when he succeeds. And then as for Ron Rivera, I kind of feel the other way around. I love Ron Rivera as a guy, as a person. He's a stand-up, honestly, one of those coaches that cares about his players and wants the troops makes the troops want to rally around him. But I didn't love him as a coach. I think he was very plain, very predictable. Contrary to his Riverboat Ron facade, I don't see a lot of gambling from him. We kept the same offensive coordinator in Mike Shula that had implemented a 1980s offense that was incredibly predictable. I'm much more excited. I can't even say it's night and day how much more excited I am about the coaching staff with Matt Rule and Joe Brady from the LSU Tigers. Mm-hmm. I'm very excited. I think the loss that we had in Cam is going to be compensated in a large part because of the offensive and defensive game planning that we have from this new coaching staff.
Well said. I'm a fan of Riverboat Ron. I think he's a great coach. And it just sucks because, I want to succeed, in a place right now where it's kind of, they're just trying to get things together. I think he's in a place where, kind of took some steps backwards. The Washington football team is going to have a lot of work ahead of them. But, if they're trying to rebuild, I think Ron's the right guy to do it. But, yeah, unfortunately, predictability, all that crap kind of sucks. So I'm really glad to see that you guys were able to add some great additions in the coaching and, in coaching. So that's exciting, man. So let's take a look here at the chat room, man. Taryn says here, sadly, the Saints and Falcons don't have a primetime game, have primetime games, meaning no Kyler and Jelani face off, but maybe the game could be flexed to primetime. One can hope. I would hope so for that. He says, I remember the 6-2 start out for the Panthers. That year was a disaster, unfortunately. And he says, I can see the Panthers. He says, I can see the Panthers improving, but yeah. But then again, playoffs are somewhat out of the question. Christian McCaffrey can only carry the team so far, but I see Teddy Bridgewater developing. And by the way, what's going on, Ben? We got big BS3 Sports here in the house. What's going on, brother? Glad to hear you, man. Glad to have you aboard here today. Y'all, go check out BS3 Radio, y'all. If you want the real deal, man, go show them some love. Ben's about as class act as you can possibly get, man. So Ben's a great dude. Big shout out to him and BS3 Radio. So yeah, I mean, what do you think, man? I mean, I don't want to get too far into that at the moment, but overall, I actually disagree with Taryn, man, big time, because I feel like Teddy is his own monster. Teddy is like another Christian McCaffrey that can throw the ball out there. I mean, and we brought Robbie Anderson. Robbie Anderson, do you remember for the Jets a couple of years ago in the Pro Bowl, John? Do you remember that? When he was like, on the sideline when he made that reference to the Pro Bowl, talking about like, y'all better vote for me, and he got all like passionate. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know what, dude? Some people got on him like, oh, well, you don't need to be saying that, young man. You need to prove it on the field. No, he's voicing because he knows what he's worth. Robbie Anderson is a hell of a receiver, and I don't care who's going to say what about it, man. This dude is give him the ball, he's going to do something with it. And I'm just really excited for this young man to get a good start with a team who has weapons. I mean, you still got DJ Moore. You literally said it. I quote, I will do a backflip if we draft DJ Moore a couple years ago. And you did a backflip, John.
And this is going to be the year he really blows up. I disagree with only as far as Christian McCaffrey. I think last year showed the limitations of all we could do with Christian McCaffrey, because he was all we had last year. Because of the quarterback situation and everything going on, you could always hand it off to Christian McCaffrey. I think we're at a fundamentally different place with our offense. Our offense isn't going to be a problem. We're going to be explosive. We have Curtis Samuel, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson. We have a new, fresh offensive line, a left tackle in Russell Okung. We have Teddy Bridgewater, somebody that's competent, that can throw the ball. I mean, we have Mike Davis as a backup, so now we at least have somebody to hand the reins off for Christian to get a break. Offense is not going to be the problem. Honestly, the problem that I'm worried is our limiting factor is our defense, because Luke Kuechly's retirement, and I think that's going to be more people are talking about Cam, but Luke Kuechly was really that consistent basis of that last decade that always gave us at least a top 15 defense. Because if Luke Kuechly's there, it doesn't matter. He's so good, he'll compensate for our weaknesses, especially the weaknesses we've had at corner and the last year or so at defensive line. But now I think what we're going to have to do is do the opposite and kind of compensate with the new corners and defensive line that we got with Derek Brown and Gross Matos and Troy Prince Jr. and Jeremy Chin. I'm excited to see what they have to do, but the middle of the field, it's not going to be the same without Luke Kuechly. If Luke Kuechly was staying here for one more year, I would almost guarantee we would make the playoffs this year. But that vacuum, and nobody else, if nothing else changed, if only Luke Kuechly was still here, I would guarantee we were going to make the playoffs this year. But that middle of the field leaves a vacuum. It leaves a vacuum, and I think that's the most understated part of our offseason is Luke Kuechly's departure.
I agree. Yeah, man, Luke, I'll tell you what, man, playing that defense side of the ball will wear you down. As a human being, I'll tell you, man, football will wear you down anyway. You know, we call it the NFL not for long. You know, I mean, that's just what it's all about, man, what it really is. But at the end of the day, man, Luke just gave all he could, and I respect him for the years he could. But, man, that would have been crazy to see him say one more year. This team would be a lot better, I think. But don't get me wrong. I mean, looking here at cursive ESPN.com for the depth chart, they got Tahir Whitehead. We used to have him for the Raiders. Good player. I mean, you know what? Overall, fast, speedy kind of guy. And hopefully he can go over there and make some things happen. But in the chat room here, BS3, Ben says here, Teddy And McCaffrey should be a good tandem. I agree, though McCaffrey can't carry this team on his own, but he's not carrying. I don't think he's going to be carrying on his own as well. They got more weapons. And then Terrence says the Panthers play in a tough division. Saints and Bucks are the real deal. We're yet to see that. We are yet to see that. I have seen nothing from the Buccaneers but paper. Am I right? Am I right, John? Am I right?
They're definitely a paper team right now, I do think this is the scariest on paper they've looked in quite a while.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, they look good, and don't get me wrong, it's Tom Brady. I will be the first one to call him the greatest quarterback of all time because I'm sorry, Montana. You won, you never lost Super Bowl, but have you been to 9? You know what I mean? like, dude.
And now they have Gronk and Leonard Fournette, and I think the Buccaneers are definitely going to be tough. And we play them week 2, so we're not going to have any chance to really reminisce and think about it before.
Exactly. They got a good football team, and I'm not trying to slate them at all, but I think the Panthers got a real chance here. He says the Panthers will improve, but even if they sneak into the playoffs, how far can they really go? Well, that's a different beast there, Taryn. That's completely different. I didn't say there were no Super Bowls this year, for sure, and I think John will agree, and if you got the blinders on, brother, that's okay with me, all right? But he just says maybe if they play the Cowboys, my NFC East champs, maybe they can win a playoff game. No offense, man. You know what? I mean, at the end of the day, I just think going to the playoffs right now is a bonus by itself. You know, Terrence is here on the Cowboys are good too. The Panthers have a young, inexperienced defense, and Luke Kuechly departing. Does it help them matter? Not really, Taryn. No, dude. Tahir Whitehead's actually pretty damn good, okay? He's actually a pretty good linebacker. Sideline to sideline type of guy. Shaq Thompson's not bad. He's really not. And Jermaine Carter can hit, okay? Those are some good players. Then you got Trey Boston is still there. He is, in my opinion, like a general. That guy is a freaking monster. Then you add Gross Matos in there at end, a guy that you can line up, throw in the 9, maybe throw off the edge, pretty good player. And then Derek Brown, I think he was the SEC Player of the Year. Overall, this is a good football team. The defense.
I think Larry, our biggest X factor right now. Because you're right, the Buccaneers are a huge paper team, and right now, as the comments are saying, the Panthers are not a huge paper team. I mean, we have talent on paper we haven't proven, a lot of unproven talent. I think right now, and I'm bullish on them, one, because I'm a fan, and two, just because of the X factor I'm about to say. I think our coaching staff can really change this up. Joe Brady and Matt Rule, everywhere they've touched, everywhere they've gone, has turned into success, has turned into gold. And so I'm very excited to see what they have in the box. I know they're very meticulous, huge attention to detail, and I think they're going to unleash a lot of potential that our players have not previously seen, even players that have been there in the past. I think they're going to even take McCaffrey into another level. I think Shaq Thompson into another level. I think the offensive line is going to be able to work more cohesively. I'm very, very excited about this coaching staff, and I think that's going to be really our one of the big factors if we win or lose this season in terms of going to the playoffs or having a success.
I agree. You got a seasoned vet, Russell Okung playing there left tackle, and Matt Paredes is there. He's a freaking beast. And then it's not McCaffrey by himself. If McCaffrey was by himself, you wouldn't have. Oh, I'm sorry, Derek. Oh my gosh, I said Derek Carr. You gotta get out of here. You wouldn't have Teddy Bridgewater. Okay, DJ Moore. Seth Roberts is still an X factor, guys. Get him the ball in some kind of. I mean, the guy can get open. Okay, Robbie Anderson's still there. And are we forgetting Pharaoh Cooper and Curtis Samuel? You know what I mean? Like, dude, there are some playmakers on this offense, man. Like guys that can get open and get the football. So, let's see. Terrence says here, I believe the Panthers are good when I see it. Well, that's once again where we strongly disagree, man. I mean,
Hey. I mean, in that front, I'm on the same boat. I think we are, but when I see it, when my thoughts will be, confirmed.
You're right. And okay, never mind.
We have a lot of unproven. I mean, half the team wasn't here a year ago, or the last decade.
But that's the same thing that I could see with the Buccaneers right now, too. They're not good until I see it. You know what I mean? So, in my opinion, and I don't want to crush on nobody, smash nobody's hopes right now, but I still think the Saints are the large and in charge team until they're knocked off, in my opinion. But I mean, he says, but I'm nowhere near sold on the Panthers. In 2 or 3 years, they'll contend. We'll see. I think they'll be ready to go by this year, or maybe even next year. But, Terrence says, when Breeze and Brady go, Panthers offense will run division like a track meet. I can see that, but I think they can do it sooner. So with that said, let's get to these free agency, man, to these moves here. and then get to the draft. So, a couple big pickups. I mean, of course, Russell Okung coming on over here. Try Turner will head to the Chargers, actually, from the Panthers. So, there you go, man. Somebody heading on over there. Then we have Dontari Poe heading over to the Cowboys. That was the departure. Greg Olsen going to the Seahawks. Mario Addison going over to the Bills. So, it's like there's some, some key stuff. Whitehead coming over from the Raiders. We have Bridgewater coming over from the Saints. Darrell Williams heading over to the Bills. We have Josh Miller and Christian McCaffrey. Well, Christian McCaffrey resigns. We have John Miller coming over from the Bengals. Bruce Irvin will now head back home to the Seahawks, where he once was, or where he played at before. Eli Apple will be a pickup here from the Saints. So that was a pretty good pickup there. Robbie Anderson, as we know, is coming on over. So, I mean, overall, guys, I think this is pretty good. There are some good pickups here. Of course, Hogan will be on his way out to the Jets, and Ben Bradbury will be on his way to the Giants. But overall, man, I think you guys pick up some great players. Go ahead and let us know, man. As I mentioned earlier, Pharoh Cooper coming over to the Panthers from the Cardinals. So, what do you think, John? Who are your biggest pickups and departures and re-signings of the season for you guys?
Yeah. So, besides the departures we already spoke about, the big ones, Luke Cam, I think James Bradbury was a substantial loss at cornerback going to the Giants. I think Dante Jackson is definitely coming into his own, so it's better that he's thrust into the starting position this year rather than last year when he was still really raw. But it would have been better too. We signed Eli Apple, but Eli Apple's on IR right now. We'll see how that goes down. I'm liking our free agent signings. Nothing too special. I think a big gap filler in John Miller, being able to have that right side of the offensive line filled up. The offensive line, I think, is going to be imperative in this offense, just being able to get off, keep their blocks holding on and allow Christian McCaffrey to get some yardage, keep Teddy Bridgewater safe, even for a few seconds, because we're going to be doing a lot of dinks and dunks, slants and whatnot. I think we're going to look a little like the Patriots offense of years past. I think a lot of Band-Aids. I think that would be the word of the day for our free agents, and hopefully these Band-Aids could prove to be more than a 1-year stopgap.
Good stuff there, and I agree. So, okay, let's go and get into the draft. We have Derek Brown come on here. Big monster there out of Auburn. We have here Yetur Gross-Matos, another freak of nature athlete. I thought he did really great in college. So we got another player there. Safety Jeremy Chin, good player here as well. Another pretty decent pickup there. You have Troy Pride, another corner, Troy Pride Jr. Safety Kenny Robinson, Bravion Roy, and Stanley Thomas Oliver. Now, I don't know if some of these guys in the later rounds are still there on the team. I don't know what's going on. But regardless, man, this team, got some pretty key pickups. What did you think about the draft?
Yeah, all those first four that you said, Derek Brown, Gross-Matos, Troy Pride, and Jeremy Chin, they're all going to have huge impacts this year, if forcefully or not. I mean, whether the impact is good or bad, but they're going to be in positions to either succeed or fail. Derek Brown, obviously, well sought after defensive tackle, one of the best to come out in years. I'm very excited to see him. I think he's a perennial Pro Bowler / All-Pro. Very excited that we were able to get him. Gross-Matos adds probably one of the best defensive ends that we have had in years. And maybe our best young guy since we drafted Charles Johnson or perhaps Greg Hardy. That tandem around 2013. So hopefully he can maybe turn that over a little quickly and get some success this year. But he's definitely going to have a great career. Jeremy Chin is a poor man's, I forgot his name, Clemson guy, the freak of nature. Do you remember his name? That played safety and linebacker. Clemson here. Tywin, something with a T.
From what year? From what year, man?
This past year. He was like a high sought after draft pick, top
Isaiah?
10 pick.
Are we talking about Isaiah?
Oh, yes. Isaiah Thomas?
Yeah.
Is it?
Okay, Isaiah, yeah. I forgot his name, but yeah, Isaiah is a freaking monster. What the hell is his name? So Jeremy Chin is a poor man's Isaiah Thomas. He literally is oversized for safety, but has ball hawking skills. At the same time, can play in the box and play linebacker. So excited about him. And then finally, Troy Pride Jr., who's going to be playing some starting corner because of our departure of James Bradbury and the injury to Eli Apple. Isaiah Simmons. There you go. Sorry, but yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there.
But yeah, freaking good stuff there, man. And way to break that down. Awesome, man. Really, really cool stuff. And I think you can give us, you know your stuff, you know your team. So without further ado, man, let's get into this.
Love my Panthers.
That's right, man. You love your Panthers, and that's what it's all about, man. That's why we have you on the show, man. Glad to have you a part of it. So let's roll on into this season. So we talked about the off season. We talked about last year, of course. Got everything out, all that good stuff. Now let's go ahead and jump on in here now into this season. So we already kind of like touched on it a little bit, but personally, what do you see this year from the Panthers?
Man, it's hard to say. I'll double down at what I said before. I think right now, the farthest we can go is the X factor that we have is our coaching staff. So, one, we have a lot of unproven talent. We're going to have to see how they pan out. But if they pan out well, our coaching staff is really going to have to do some innovative things like Joe Brady did in LSU. Because before Joe Brady and Joe Burrow connected, Joe Burrow was a nobody. He transferred from Ohio State after losing a quarterback competition. So let's not forget that coaching plays an integral role to the player's success. These players aren't static. They're dynamic. They have a window for how good they can be, and these coaches have shown, their track record is shown to get the best out of players. So we may be seeing players that we don't necessarily think are superstars, like Shaq Thompson, turn into superstars. We're taking CMC to another level. So I'm very excited. I'm cautiously optimistic about this season.
I agree, man. I'm right there with you. And you're right, coaching can be a big thing, man. So I'm really excited about this, man. I am so excited. And let's do the dang thing, man. So let's get into this year and have some more fun with the rest of the division. So, of course, as you know, we have a little fun section here at the end of this show. And this, of course, is Stick It To 'Em. This is where you can talk about the rest of the division, how you think they're going to do this year. You can be mean, you can be nice, you can be respectful, however you want to be, man. But without further ado, John, the Falcons fan already, by the way, Big Low Country, already said to tell you guys that you guys are looking good, but they're still going to win the division. So, what do you want to say to the rest of the division, man? Stick it to them.
Man, I want to stick it to him, but I don't want to eat my words. I think this, honestly, this is probably the best that our division has looked since I've been watching football. There's always been at least one bad team. The Buccaneers have always been at least that team that we can count on being terrible. But now the Buccaneers have obviously Hall of Famer Tom Brady facilitating the quarterback position, as well as talent around like Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Leonard Fournette, Rob Gronkowski. It makes it difficult to be down on them. Honestly, I think, ironically, the Falcons would probably be our easiest bet this year. Unlike in years past, I think the Falcons have looked a little elite, but now the Saints, I would say, are, in terms of our opponents, I think the Saints are number one, the Buccaneers are number two, and the Falcons are number three. I think that's going to be the order of how difficult it is to deal with these guys. But I can't lie, they all look good. They all look good right now. If somebody was looking that wasn't a Panther fan and wasn't following the Panthers, they would say the Panthers are number four by far. For me, because I know the Panthers, I would say we have a possibility to be much better than that.
Alrighty, man. Well, I like it. You guys look good, and this team is coming, man. So with that said, I'm excited for y'all. Let's do this, man. John, you know the drill. You know the drill, man. Tell us real quick, what's going on with the Brothers Blue? What are you guys doing? Of course, you're still a part of us. Are we gonna expect any videos soon? Has there been any that I've missed? What's going on, man? And of course, let all these Panthers fans know where they can find you.
Yeah, no, you can catch me on Twitter at Carpan423. You can check out, we have a YouTube channel, The Brothers Blue. It's been inactive for a minute, so, status pending. We're not sure if we're going to be posting more videos. My brother has a lot of other things to do, and so I don't know the status of that right now, but if I feel particularly inspired, I might just make one on myself and put my thoughts out there.
There you go, man. We're looking forward to... we're looking forward to seeing more from you, man. And definitely always great having you on the show, brother. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us here today, man. Best luck in your master's program. You got this, man. Keep up the hard work. God bless you and your family. Take care, man. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you so much, Larry B.
All right. Thank you too, brother. Take care, man. Talk to you soon.
All right. Peace out.
All right, John. Once again, that was John Felipe. Great guy, man.
Master program, you got this, man. Keep up the hard work. God bless you, the family.
Real deal. So glad to have this dude aboard. of our station, and we just got to get him back on the show. But dude is great, man. That was a lot of fun to talk there. Some whoopsies, the echo on. Sorry about that, guys. A little echo from the show, but. Anyway, I guys listened to it during the break, but anyway, guys, that was a lot of fun. I'm so glad we were able to get our NFC South day in here. So let's go ahead here and take ourselves a break. When we get back, we're talking with another newcomer, some Bucks football. Mr. Robert will be joining us momentarily. You are listening to 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days, day number 7 overall, day number 3 in NFC week. NFC Week, NFC South Day, right here on IE Sports Radio. Your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this.
Hey, what's up, sports fans? You're looking for a different type of sports talk show, something you haven't heard before? You got to check out the BS3 Sports Show every other Saturday on 2 Live Stews Radio, 1 p.m. Central Time, 2 p.m. Eastern. Sports talk at its finest. Always have great guests, playing some good hip-hop. You don't want to miss it. Make sure to tune in to the BS3 Sports Show every other Saturday at 1 p.m. Central Time, 2 p.m. Eastern.
Hey USRN fans, do you have a product or company you're trying to promote? Look no further. USRN is teaming up with small local businesses trying to establish themselves via online promotion. Let us know if you're interested. Email us at usrnradio@gmail.com to learn more.
What's going on, football fans? This is me, your boy Larry B, inviting you to join myself, Callum Reynolds, Mike Pat, and John Felipe for one of the most electrifying football shows you have ever heard. 3 and Out, right here at IE Sports Radio. Recap of the week before, a preview of what's to come, and of course, 3 hardcore head-to-head prime-time face-offs each week. You don't want to miss it.
That is right. You do not want to miss it. Last night was a great show. As I mentioned already, for like the umpteenth time, we've had way too many. It's just been a crazy year. So we're 8 divisions in 8 days is bleeding on over into the regular season and all that craziness. But it's all good, y'all. With that said, we are now back talking some Buccaneers football for the next 30 minutes with another newcomer. And I'm so glad to have this guy here, man. I found him earlier on Twitter. We were talking, and he seems like the real deal, man. Super diehard fan. I'm glad to have him aboard for here today. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, he is, of course, diehard Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. Glad to have him here for his first time of hopefully many more to come. Welcoming, of course, Mr. Robert Green. What's going on, Robert? How you doing today, man?
Oh, man, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Hey, brother, I'm glad you're able to make it, and thanks for making it in such short notice, man.
No worries, man. Everything good over there in Cali?
Hey, everything's good. It's got some fires burning. That's about it. You know, I mean, it's September and fires are burning. It's September. Let me tell you something, Robert. This is some BS, man. Look. Right now it's fine, but last week I haven't ever in my whole life, man, my whole 31 years of life, brother, I have never seen. Maybe I have, but usually August is like there's like a couple of weeks in August where it's just nasty hot, but for some reason, this year in September, we had last week, man, I have never seen heat like this. We had Arizona, Las Vegas heat in Cali. Okay, that was the weirdest thing. It was like 115, 116 at night. Like we had 109, 90 degrees, 99 degrees at like 11 o'clock at night. Like, man, no, what is this nonsense?
That sounds like where I'm from, man. I'm from Mississippi, and it's 100 degrees in the morning and 100 degrees at night, man. It's crazy sometimes. Crazy.
That sounds crazy, man. But, man, anyway, man, glad to have you all. Look at that, man. All the way from Mississippi. So that's what I'm talking about, man. So with that said, let's get on into these Buccaneers, man. First things first, last year, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What can we say about the Buccaneers except for they destroyed my Raiders in 2003? He's playing. But I'll tell you right now, I'll never forget that. I'm sorry. But yeah, man. Yeah, young, hopeful Raider fan is really getting into football for the first time in my life, like a lot. You know, discovering my identity, middle school, just really getting into my sport, loving it. And then I watched my team play the Super Bowl. I'm like, oh my gosh, we made it. My dad was a lifetime fan. I was watching it. And then we get destroyed. Thanks a lot, Robert. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for that.
They say we had the playbook. Mm-hmm. I know we had the coach from the previous year, but they said we had the playbook.
You did, okay? You did. Yeah, that was a weird year, but whatever. Here's what it is, man. Look, man, you guys earned it fair and square. At least what I think, and that's all good. So, anyway, man, last year, a 7-9 year. Wasn't the best. However, it was
terrible. It's terrible.
Well, this year, there's reason to believe your Buccaneers are the thing to say. Now, just a little bit ago, I said that you guys have a lot to prove because you're only on paper. Right now, you guys are a paper team. Regardless, you can take that field and make things happen. I'm excited for this team this year. I'm excited for the Panthers. The biggest team that I'm excited for, I think, this year in the entire NFC is going to be, in the NFC South is going to be the Panthers, just because, you know, new coaching and everything. It's a lot of new things going on, but it does not mean that I'm not excited for these Buccaneers. You guys now have the GOAT, as we say, of course, Tom Brady, in my opinion, of course, the greatest quarterback of all time, is now there with you guys. This is going to be insane to see him in a different uniform. You guys have brought Gronk aboard. You have Evans. You still have that big old giant monster who I seriously think is probably one of the most underrated players of all time. And of course, that man is Cameron Brate, and I don't care what anybody has to say. I think he's underrated. And anybody wants to fight me, come at me. I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the dude is amazing. Like, the guy he goes up and gets the ball. What more do you want from a tight end? You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like,
no, he's definitely a player, man. He's a gamer, and one of the true success stories of the Buccaneers. Just for the simple fact that he came in undrafted and he bounced around a couple teams before even landing in Tampa, including being on the practice squad in New Orleans. So yeah, a success story, man. And I'm a huge fan of the undrafted guys who come in and make a name for themselves. They don't just prove that they can be in the league or on a team. They prove that they can be one of the top players. And Cameron Brate was just the latest of that kind of deal in Tampa. We've also had another player in Donald Penn, who was a late. Mm-hmm. He was undrafted as well. He played for Oakland recently. Mm-hmm. We had him. Then we had another right tackle, DeMar Dotson, another cat who came in undrafted, got the starting position, and didn't relent. Kept that starting position for a long, long time. And Cameron Brate, like I said, is just one of the latest to make that move. And he's definitely a good player. Underrated, maybe underrated. I might slightly agree with you. I wouldn't go too crazy saying that he was egregiously underrated, but definitely he should draw some attention if he ever left the Bucs. But he's a damn good player.
Oh, he really is, man. You guys, Terrence says here in the chat room. He says, let's see here. We will take good care of Tri-Turner. Have fun with Wakanda Tech's own Russell Kung. You're cold-blooded, Terrence. We're just talking Panthers right now, so okay. Yeah. But he says here, the John Gruden Bowl is coming this year, a.k.a. Raiders versus the Bucs. Thanks, Terrence. Appreciate you. And then Terrence says, I didn't even know we play you guys, but great. So he says, I can see the Bucs making the playoffs and winning a playoff game, but I don't see them holding Lombardi, making the big game, or let alone making the big game, or I think that's what he's trying to say. But that said, I am somewhat sold in the Bucs and have high hopes for them. Okay, well, that's interesting thoughts there from Taryn. Any comments for him real quick?
Yeah, man. I mean, as far as the Bucs making the playoffs, that's kind of like been the talk all off season since Tom Brady joined. The thing is, man, it's a possibility. It definitely should be the expectation for sure to make the playoffs. If you go back and look at what the Bucs did the previous few seasons, they could have been a playoff team had they not literally giving away 5 to 6 games a season just with turnovers. So having a quarterback that's actually stable, that should boost the team's that should boost the team's chances tremendously. And it can't even be understated. I mean, the last few seasons, the Bucs have had the most one-score losses with like multiple turnovers I've ever seen in any team. It's seriously, so their playoff chances improved greatly just by eliminating some of the issues that caused a lot of those turnovers. It wasn't just interceptions, but primarily it was. But if they don't make the playoffs, if my Bucs do not make the playoffs, I don't know that the head coach comes back. I don't know that the GM stays, because everything is all in for this year. It's crazy.
Absolutely. You guys you're absolutely right. The chips on the table, man. The cards on the table. You guys went all out. And, yeah, if you don't make a playoff, it is playoff or bust for damn sure. And, yeah, I can totally see that. You guys need to. That is a statement that needs to be made. So, let's take a look at this offseason, man. Of course, the elephant in the room, we're talking about Tom Brady. Man, what a pickup. There's no way you weren't surprised. But if you weren't, please stop me. But how surprised were you when you saw that Tom Brady, of all teams, okay, I'm just saying, I mean, I don't know, he could have went, literally, anyway, he could have went to I don't know, actually, he could have really went anywhere, but still, I'm just saying, like, the Buccaneers, like, it doesn't seem like a likely landing space for him, I guess, I don't know, at least to me. How shocked were you, or were you shocked at all when you heard the news that your Buccaneers were picking him up?
I was slightly shocked, can't lie, I was slightly shocked. But then again, I had been following that situation for like a month or so about his possibly leaving New England. Once it was decided he was going to leave New England in early March or mid-March, I apologize. A lot of the breakdown started coming, like all of the choices he was trying to make, like basically proximity to his family and his kids, what have you, and going back out to LA where he's a native of, or in California where he's a native of. The Chargers were on the table. I think there was who else was on the table? The Chargers were on the table, I believe. It wasn't the Rams. That was definitely just the Chargers. But it came down to the Chargers and the Bucs. And his wanted to stay on the East Coast. That kind of became a deal. So I started looking at the roster. You start looking at what was on the rosters for each. And it was like, okay, I can easily see why he would come to Tampa. You got a pretty good receiving core. You got a head coach that, people tend to like and usually speak highly of. It was something, man. I mean, I can't say I was slightly surprised. I wasn't completely like holy crap amazed until, I'm not even kidding, until 4 or 5 days ago when I did my podcast. And I was like, holy crap, like I couldn't believe I was saying it out loud, like the way that the roster was built, all these pieces. I still have questions whether or not it's all going to work because of how it's just like such a big mesh of talent, or just a mosh of talent. So I don't know how it's going to play out because it's going to take a hell of a coach to put it all together. But Tom Brady kicking everything off, that just kind of turned the tide for so much. I mean, you got all the other guys who wanted to come and play in Tampa. McCoy, Gronkowski, of course, who came out of retirement, Leonard Fournette, pretty much anybody who's a free agent, their name got tied to the Bucs. And primarily it was because Tom Brady was all aboard. He was on ship, and everybody else wanted to join. So, I mean, it's crazy. I still honestly can't believe like all of their talent that's on this roster right now.
Me either. You guys looking like got all stop back, and you know what I mean? You guys look like that the 2002, 2003 football team, man. I mean, Terrence says here, playoff or bust for the Bucs. The NFC is highly competitive, but with how loaded the Bucs are, they should make the playoffs. My only concern is the defense. We will get to that in a few minutes here. But go ahead and jump on that real quick, man. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the free agents.
Yeah, man, the defense. The defense is what I want to say I'm most excited about the defense. The defense last year, actually the defense not just last year, but the previous couple years have been a whole lot better than most people would give credit to. A lot of people look at the raw stats, what have you, and don't look at the context of everything that's happened in Tampa. I kind of I alluded to it earlier about the turnovers and so forth that they didn't just hurt the offense, it killed the defense.
Mm-hmm.
The defense would be off the field for like literally 30 seconds, and they would be back on the field after shutting down the offense or, stopping them after a long drive.
Yeah,
it was just over and over and over. This kind of happened basically since 2016. So, like, honest to goodness, for like the last 4 years, the Bucs defense has been a hell of a lot better than most people actually know. Again, because they faced the most passes of any defense over the last 4 or 5 years. And they give up a lot of yards. But if you look at that and contrast it to how much people actually score, and look at the yards, it's so off balanced. And like no team had like a worse starting position for the defense than the Bucs. Like it's crazy, but the Bucs have such a young group of talent in their secondary primarily that it's it's built to go for a little bit. Like all these guys are basically like second and third year players. Most of them are second year players or first year players. To be honest, we have Antoine Winfield Jr. who was starting at one of the safety positions. But the defense is going to be something to look at. Primarily look at the defensive line with Vita Vea. Vita Vea is the future of the entire defense, in my opinion. These cats, I think the defense is going to be solid. I'm concerned about their longevity along the defensive line because Jason Pierre-Paul and Dominican Sue are up there in age. But that Vita Vea has to have 4 hands on him every down. So that's a mismatch right there. And then with these young talented secondary guys, man, they put in some work last year. They went through some struggles, all the young cats, but they went through the fire, but they came out looking pretty good by the end of the season. They actually started out pretty well. But again, it all got kind of skewed because of the instability on offense. But that defense should be solid. If they don't get hit by the injury bug, which was last year was one of the first times they did it over the last 5 years. So if they stay healthy, that defense is gonna be tough.
No, they are. They really are. And you guys got a lot to look forward to. I mean, I like how you brought up Vita Vea. I remember when that guy got drafted, man. I remember him at Washington. I'm a Pac-12 guy myself over here in Southern Cali. And he was a beast. He went to you guys. I'm like, all right, man, it's going to look nice. Then you guys got Sue. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, Sue just came from, once again, man, not to down the Bucs, but, they're a lot like my Raiders. Just nothing to look at. And, out of nowhere, it's like, all right, well, Sue's leaving. Well, great. Sue just left his best chance I think he'll ever get with the Rams. And it's hilarious because I'm eating my words right now because he left to go play with you guys, and now you guys look like this Super Bowl contender type of team, at least on paper right now. And the Rams look like this like nothing to look at team. You know what I mean? So it's kind of funny. Like it's like he could tell the future or something. You know what I mean? Like he just ended up being somewhere great. But yeah, man, so we got Sue, of course, coming on, staying with the Buccaneers. Leonard Fournette, of course, comes on over. I thought that was a huge pickup. Jameis Winston will head over to the Saints, to back up Brady. We have here...
Thank goodness.
Like that, Robert? Like that?
Straight like that, man. I was telling people by the middle of 2017, I started telling cats, I'm like, hey, this is serious. Like, you can't keep looking for hope in this guy. Like, this is not good. Go back and take a look at the progression of all these other quarterbacks that he's getting compared to, the Bradys, the Peyton Mannings, the Eli Mannings, the Ben Roethlisberger. Go back and look at how these guys' career trajectory actually went. Like, if they didn't show what they needed to show by year 3, it didn't happen. And I got a lot of flack for it. Still get a lot of flack for it. But the deal was, and this is how it's always going to be. At some point you have to stop looking at the possibility and weigh it against the actual probability. And it went on for 2 years too long. I didn't think he should have finished his 4th year in Tampa, and I thought he damn sure shouldn't have been there for his 5th year. And it showed. Like, it showed. I wasn't predicting him to fail, but again, you just have to look at, again, with any not quarterback, but any player in the NFL, like, you have to weigh the probability, the likelihood of something happening versus the possibility. Anything is possible. So anything can happen if you just really want it to happen. But you have to look at the likelihood of it. Like how likely was it for him to have 2 really good seasons to justify getting a long-term contract?
Right.
It wasn't likely, man. If you don't show it by your 3rd year, you kind of need to have a plan B, and that plan B need to be present. But that didn't happen. Yeah,
and you guys ended up moving on, and you know what? Good. I mean, it is what it is. Maybe it's a change of scenery, but at the end of the day, I mean, hey, he's no longer on your roster, which you guys are just moving forward, and hey, hopefully he can move forward his career as well. And so we got that going on. Okay, DeMar Dotson heading to the Broncos here. Gibson Pierre-Paul will be staying there.
Yeah.
We have here. Looks like Bo Allen, he will head on over to the Patriots. We have here Shalik Barrett will be staying. Rashad Perryman will head on over to the Jets. We have Suckup, which will head on over to the Buccaneers. LaShawn McCoy heading over from this, which I thought was pretty cool. Yeah, that shady, man. Heading over to the Buccaneers as well. Peyton Barber will be heading over to Washington. Let's see here. Blaine Gabbert stayed. We have, of course, A.Q. Shipley will be coming over from the Cardinals, a center right there. MJ Stewart heading on over to the Browns. So there's a lot of different, transactions and moving pieces and everything. But let's go ahead and get on into this, man. What do you think? I know I didn't name all of them, but what do you think, man? There were some big transactions. Of course, I think we've already went over the biggest ones. But what do you think about some or all of these transactions, and who do you think will be the biggest pickups for you guys, and departures and re-signings?
As far as departures, man, I can't say that I'm upset about any of the departures. Most of the departures I saw coming for myself. DeMar Dotson, again, I mentioned him earlier as being one of those success stories in Tampa as an undrafted guy who came in and became a big piece of the Bucs roster as well as the community. DeMar Dotson was one of my favorite players. I say was. I apologize. He is one of my favorite players in Buccaneers history. But around 3 years or so, he started having a pretty tough decline, and I had been asking that his replacement be on board like 3 to 4 years ago. It was just the nature of, physicality and so forth, but a lot of his skills and so forth declined. So that right tackle position, which we basically use a first and second round pick, basically trades in order to move up to get that pick for Tristan Wirfs. I didn't think that was necessary to do that. I didn't think we needed a first round player, especially, one that cost another draft pick to replace a DeMar Dotson. We just needed someone who was solid enough that can be balanced in run blocking as well as pass blocking. DeMar Dotson's biggest issue was run blocking. But the addition of Tristan Wirfs, that's going to do wonders at right tackle. It could have been anybody, but I'm glad it's Tristan Wirfs. I mean, he should be a solid guy. That's going to be that may be the one addition that makes outside of Tom Brady, that may be the biggest addition to the roster that makes me super excited and confident about what the offense can do as a whole. We should be able to see Ronald Jones, who is underrated. We should be able to see him do a whole lot more with a right tackle on the right side of the line, so long as Alex Kappa, our right guard, he's our 30th right guard, so long as he shows up and he does his thing. Because Ronald Jones, again, is one of those guys who's been underrated, underappreciated by Tampa fans and as well as a lot of people. But he should get some attention this year if he can get past the first level of the NA defense. He gonna be good, man.
I agree. I'm a Ronald Jones fan because I'm a USC guy, right? So, I like it, man. Great pick up there. But yeah, let's go ahead and get on this draft, man. Tristan Wirfs, we saw freaking nature at the Combine. The dude is amazing. He is just an incredibly good player, and that is one great pickup. Hell of a pickup there for the Buccaneers this year. I really think that Buccaneers offensive line is just absolutely awesome. I mean, I think you guys I've done a lot with that Buccaneers O-line, and I feel like there's been a lot of building that's gone into this, and adding him to this is just going to be awesome. Here, courtesy of Buccaneers.com. There's a player on this, actually 2 of them. My gosh, I didn't even see this other guy. I forgot you guys brought him aboard. I have a special reason why I like the offensive line of the Buccaneers. You want to take a stab at why I'm just really, really, I'm a fan of this offensive line? You want to see if you can guess why, Robert?
Let me see.
Think real hard now. And let me give you a hint. I also played in the NCAA. So.
Okay. All right. Let me see. Josh Wells? No. Offensive. You know what? I'm stumped already, man. I don't want to have too much dead air. I'm stumped. What is the connection there?
Well, I played major JUCO football. Okay, it's a community college level.
Oh, okay, wait, all right.
And I played there, I loved it, and then I went on to play. I tell myself all the time, I mean, woulda, coulda, shoulda, but I didn't want to leave my family. I really didn't. I didn't want to leave the little bit of family that I knew. I knew that if I would have tried really hard, we had scouts from Alamosa to go play at Adams State. However, I just kind of get shying away from it because I didn't want to leave my family and move to Colorado. So I pretty much forewent trying really hard to make a D2, and I ended myself up at D3 at ULV, and it was just an experience that I feel like God has planned for us all, so that was where I was supposed to be, and everything ended up great for me. Of course, my degrees and everything, I mean, everything's great, and I thank God for that, but I have a lot of respect for the guys who play at the lower levels. Ali Marpet is a dude who played at Hobart. Okay, Division III football. And what did he do? He's like, I'm an NFL starter, and I'm going to go to the draft, and I'm going to make things happen, and he did. This dude is a beast, and I'm so happy that he is a starter on this offensive line because it didn't matter. He shows big school, small school, don't care where he comes from, he got it done. A couple years ago, you guys drafted a dude who I thought was absolutely, like, maybe not the whole deal, because, of course, the rookie had a lot to learn, but this young man in Senior Bowl practice looked good. He looks strong, and he looks like a very good, solid athlete, and now he's starting at right guard, and he's from a place that doesn't exist anymore, man. The football team is over. There is no more Humboldt State football, which is really sad. But you know what? I feel like this guy right here was one of the last great players to come out of there, and he's making everybody proud, and it's right here, of course, in Northern Cali. But at the end of the day, another guy from an FCS school, from a smaller school. Okay, I know there's a big difference between D3 and FCS, but still what? Still, it doesn't matter. Alex Kappa. Okay, so I'm just saying that to me, two guys who, I don't know, two guys by this awkward, stupid rule that we have. Oh, well, you're not D1, no one cares about you. Or you're not D1 single A, no one cares about you, FBS. You know what? You can get that the hell out of here. Because I'll tell you right now, man, it doesn't matter who you are or where you come from or what you do. You can come out and ball from wherever you're at. You can make the NFL and do great things. So to those guys right there, where's my applause button, man? To those guys right there, man. That's right. That's right. To those guys right there, that's how you hold it down. You want to know what it's like playing Division III? You want to know what it's like playing FCS? Guess what? Those two guys right now are playing left guard and right guard, and they're blocking for Tom Brady and for Fournette, and they're going to do some great things this year. And honestly, man, I'm all for that. So that's my little speech right there of why this offensive line is so damn special to me.
Hey, it's awesome, man. I tell you what, Ryan Jensen, also from Colorado State Pueblo. That cat, I mean, but that's another one. But yeah, Alex Kappa caught a lot of flack for not being able to break the roster in his first year as a rookie. And he came in, he's a third-round pick, but he came in and the coaches at that time, it was Dirk Cutter. He decided to not play him as much. He didn't start playing until like week 10 or week 11. So so last year was basically his first year as a full-time starter. And he came in and, he played really well. He had his struggles. He also suffered a broken arm in one of the games. I think it was week 3 or 4. I think it was week 4 it was. And he just toughed it out, finished that game, but then they ended up holding him out the next week against New Orleans. But he Yeah, man, he's a tough dude, man. And I'm like you. I love seeing these cats who come from smaller schools and these undrafted players who just come up and they just take what's theirs, man. Good game will travel no matter where you play. If you can play, you in. And those cats, both of them, all of them, they have. So it is pretty cool to see all three of those cats who came from smaller schools that just come in and become starters, and now they're playing on the biggest stage. It's crazy.
It really is. And yeah, I didn't even know about Ryan Jensen, but yeah, that's awesome, man. Colorado State, Pueblo, that's Division 2. That's where Adam State plays in. You know what I mean? The same division. So it's like, that's awesome, man. Like, that's D2 football. And then, of course, you got the big monsters, man. Donovan Smith, you can't forget about him. Penn State, big old beast over there. And then Tristan Wirfs, man. I got to see this man and his offense literally eat my Trojans like a sandwich, okay, in the Holiday Bowl last year. I got to watch that live. They ate them alive. Like, my Trojans were looking like... It was horrible. Like, it was horrible. It was the most horrible thing I've ever seen. But it's what it is. But I'll tell you what, man. That that Iowa team is nasty.
Iowa, yeah.
And Wirfs, man, is just a beast. I've seen this man. What did he hang clean about 455? That's not a little bit of weight, guys. Trust me. I know what 455 feels like on my back.
And it does something, no man knows. It's awesome. I was a Big Ten guy growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I lived in Mississippi, I was literally between the University of Alabama, 30 minutes between the University of Alabama and Mississippi State University. I still paid attention, a great deal of attention to the Big Ten. And the Big Ten has always, at least for the last 39 years since I've been on this earth, have always produced run-blocking offensive linemen who were just tough. And they've always, had some really good pass protectors as well, but run blocking is where the Big Ten and their offensive linemen stood out for me. So having Tristan Wirfs is going to be awesome for the Bucs. Again, I didn't think that we needed to have that high of a pick in order to replace DeMar Dotson, the former starter.
Mm-hmm.
But Tristan Wirfs is a damn good player, and I'm going to be really excited. I was about to say I'm going to be kind of excited. I'm actually going to be really excited to see him hit the field and see what he can do. Hopefully, the investment pays off pretty quickly where I don't have to worry about him or anything like that. But I'm expecting him to do really, really well.
I am too. And he's a beast, man. I'm glad to have him. But take a look, I'm glad you guys have him. But yeah, with Antoine Winfield, also safety, coming up. You guys also had Keyshawn Vaughn, running back. And let's see here. And I forgot who the hell else you guys had here. Let me take a look here. His website's not helping me out very much. But yeah, man, you guys overall, I'll tell you right now, the Buccaneers had a decent little there we go. Now I got the rest of them. So yeah, we got Antoine Winfield out of Minnesota, safety out of Minnesota. Minnesota looked good for speaking of the Big Ten, they were 8-0 this year. We're talking about, like, they made it to, like, number 7. Like, how the hell does that even happen? Like, Minnesota? Really? That happens? But hey, they came out, man. Keyshawn Vaughn, running back out of Vanderbilt. We have Tyler Johnson, wide receiver out of Minnesota. Another guy coming out of that tough Gophers team, Khalil Davis, defensive line, coming out of Auburn. We've already talked about Auburn today. I mean, that beastly defensive line they had. And, well,
Nebraska?
Which one?
Yeah, I think Khalil was out of Nebraska, right?
No, he's out of Auburn, man. Khalil Davis.
Am I crazy? Yeah, I think I might be crazy.
He said, we had Chappelle Russell, linebacker coming out of Temple, and then Raymond Calais, running back out of Louisiana. So, I mean, overall, man, quick and dirty. I know we've already kind of hit this a lot already, but quick and dirty, man. What do you think about this draft? Who could be some immediate impact players for you guys? And who have you seen in camp doing pretty good this year?
As far as the draft, again, I was kind of up and down on the draft. Antoine Winfield, who has won a starting job at the safety position, he is going to be the guy that I actually pay the most attention to, quite likely. I think he's going to be a good guy. There was a few guys actually like. One of the guys I was most excited about actually got released from the. He got released just recently, Saturday. Yeah, it was it's a running back, Calais. My God, I'm blanking out now because I don't know why. But he was a 7th round running back to be picked, and he was one of the guys I was most excited about. I didn't know much about him until like a couple weeks before the draft. But of all the picks, it's definitely going to be Antoine Winfield Jr. That cat, until Tyler Johnson gets healthy, that cat is he's supposed to be the difference maker. He's supposed to be one of the guys who, such a ball hawk, can, play multiple positions. Over the last few years, Tampa Bay fans have been clamoring for a safety that can be a safety, a linebacker, a cornerback. They've been looking for anybody that can take the place of that stolen feeling they thought they were going to have when my guy, who is it? When we picked Vita Vea over the out of Florida State, Derwin James. So, yeah. Everybody's been looking for a replacement for Derwin James. Antoine Winfield Jr. allegedly that guy.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So isn't that something, man? You guys are looking sharp, man. Like, seriously, I'm excited for this Buccaneers team this year, man. Let's get into this season now. What do you expect, man? Give it to us. What do you think, man? What do you guys expect? What do you expect personally as a Bucs fan this year for this team to do?
First and foremost, I expect to see an uptick in the defense. I expect to see the defense basically just solidifying the notion that they were, much better than what people have thought they were, especially last year. That's my biggest expectation. As far as the offense, I'm expecting to see a way more efficient offense behind a quarterback that's stable, behind an offensive line that actually knows what their quarterback is going to be doing in the back. That actually a quarterback that can get the ball out fast, so the offensive line can actually play smart and not have to worry about what's going on. I'm looking for the run game to improve. Overall, man, I'm looking for a huge uptick in production and efficiency on both sides of the ball. I don't usually do any kind of record predictions whatsoever, but I'll go back and say what I said last year. If the Bucs don't make the playoffs, if the Bucs finish anything, if Bucs can't go 9-7, the Bucs cannot do that. If the Bucs go 9-7, that's no better than what they were a few years ago before Bruce Arians took over and before the roster was actually loaded. The Bucs have to make a statement to make all of this stuff make sense. For all these guys on one-year contracts, the Leonard Fournettes, the Cameron Braids, the Rob Gronkowskis, for all these guys who are trying to make a name for themselves in this 1 year, LaShawn McCoy, this Bucs team has to come out and be dominant.
Hey, you know what, man? I'm with you on that, man. This team, they have to. There's no excuses now. So, with that said, man, we have a little segment here at the end called Stick It To Them. This is always a lot of fun, man. Everyone always has a lot of fun sticking it to them. So, let's do this here, man. You go ahead. There are 3 teams that you don't really like in the rest of this division. You know that. I know that. We know that. At the end of the day, football is family, as one of our PR agents say here, Meg Renee. It brings everybody together, and it does. But rivalries, especially, you're not friends for 3 hours. I don't care. It is what it is. After the game, we can be cool, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But, okay. So, this is a fun little segment where you get to go ahead and talk about the rest of the division now and talk about how you think they're going to do. This is always a lot of fun. We have some different ways. It could be, we have mixed ways of doing this, man. It could be nice. It could be mean and rude. You could be respectful. You could, however you want to do it, man. However you want to do it, do the dang thing, man. Be honest. However you want to do it. But without further ado, you got three teams to talk about, man. Mr. Robert, stick it to them.
All right, first and foremost, because I moved from Orlando, Central Florida area to ATL, as I sit right now, less than 2 miles away from the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Atlanta still has issues. Atlanta's baseball team scored more than their football team in any of the games that they had last year. 2 nights ago, Atlanta Braves scored 29. The Falcons didn't score 29 at all last year. They got work to do. Carolina's got New Orleans leftovers at quarterback. They got a way overrated running back. They got issues. New Orleans, defending NFC champions. They've enjoyed their run. They've done their bounties. They've got that one guy who's calling it quits at the end of the year because he knows he can't do it anymore. This guy's slow. Good quarterback, but slow in the mind. He's foolish. You got a wide receiver who's solid, who's a volume catcher, that's solid, that's good guys, but they got issues. Everybody in the NFC South has an issue. That issue is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers not being hinged, not being held back. They got issues. NFC South is on notice.
Hey, where's that applause button? Let me say something real quick though, man. We went a little bit over on time, but we went a little bit over, and wouldn't you know, Robert, our Saints fan and proud member here of the IE Sports Radio family happened to call in, and he's actually on the line, man, waiting to come on, and I think he gets heard a little bit what you had to say about his tired old quarterback. Colin, you want to say a little something, man?
Man. COVID-19, it has other effects on people. That's what I'm going to say.
Robert, what you got to say, man?
Hey, man, welcome, Saints fan. Listen, COVID-19 is a slow burn. I'm telling you right now, man. Y'all got issues over there in New Orleans. Again, everybody can respect New Orleans. Yeah, New Orleans, I can respect New Orleans. I can. However, again, New Orleans has been a beneficiary of some real bad stuff happening in Tampa. That stuff is out this year.
Before I get into my segment, what's up, IE Sports Radio family? I know it's been a long time since your boy been on, but I hope everybody is well with everything going on. But my friend Robert here, my new friend, Mr. Robert Green, here, sir. Let me ask you one question: Are you a Tampa Bay Buccaneer? Or you a Tom Brady?
No, I've been Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan since 1994 in Mississippi, where most of the folks are either New Orleans Saints fans or Atlanta fans. I don't follow players, man. I follow progress, and I follow my team.
So I'm assuming that your voice is a little louder this year because you got Tom Brady, because you've been silent for the last couple of years, right?
Nah, Pimpin', my voice been the same, and I've been projecting my voice towards my team.
You're real monotone right now, actually, you know.
Monotone? Speak to me, man. What that mean? What you talking about?
You're real calm and silent, like you don't have much confidence.
Nah, same. Have you been listening to the entire interview, man? The same thing all around.
That's all right. Hey, Larry, let's get it, Larry.
This guy, Robert, dude, Colin loves them. Is there a Buccaneers and New Orleans primetime game this year, Robert?
Sunday, 3:00.
Anytime the Bucs play New Orleans, it's going to be prime time. 4:30.
It's prime time this week, Larry. It's Sunday for 3.
Oh, my gosh. Gentlemen. We have New Orleans. We do. Oh, my gosh. New Orleans at Tampa Bay, week 9. Week 9 on Monday Night Football?
Yes.
Sunday Night Football.
Sunday Night Football. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
So Larry, you know when it comes down here Sunday, we smack Brady and them out. You know what's gonna happen on Monday night, and you know how we play on prime time. You already know this, Larry. So put me down. You gotta ask the question. Put me down for the face off. You gotta ask me no question.
Mr. Robert Green, brother, we do a thing here on this show regularly. For the regular show, this is just the season preview shows. But for the actual show, we do a little thing called Primetime Face Off, where you guys get to face off in a debate for that primetime game. And since you guys are playing, the date would be November 4th, and apparently you guys are both on Central Time. Or actually, no, we got Robert on Eastern Time.
That's November. Right now it's November 8th, Pep.
Yeah,
Sunday night.
But the show would be November 4th.
Oh, yeah.
So the show will be November 4th, and the time would approximately be... We're looking at 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time-ish, right around there for this primetime face-off. Robert, Colin, we're going to make this happen?
Come on, man. You already know what time of day it is.
Hey, man, I'm all in. You ain't got to say nothing, but hit me in the DM, Pep, and we'll
Let's
set it up.
That's what I'm talking. Hey, once again, ladies and gentlemen, man, Mr. Robert Green. Robert, man, you've been amazing, dude. I appreciate you so much, man. Go ahead. The floor is yours, man. Tell everybody about your podcast. When you mention that, tell everybody where these diehard Buccaneers fans can find you. Tell everybody, man, Bucs Nation out there, where they can find you and how they can get a hold of you and listen to your show and the whole bit, man.
Yeah, man, they can reach me on Twitter at Outside Leverage. Outside Leverage on Twitter. You get me up on the podcast as well as the website, theoutsideleverage.com. I want to appreciate you, man, and thank you for your time and actually having me on. Yeah, man, it's just real straight Bucs talk. Eventually, I end up trying to get folks like Colin and others, who give some commentary on their teams as well as the NFC South. Straight, no filter, no foolishness. No player affiliation, no craziness, nothing like that. Just straight talk and trying to put some context to some of these numbers a lot of people throw out there, and so everybody can get a real big picture as to what's going on, rather than a whole lot of rhetoric and falling into foolishness. That's what my Bucs page is about. Slightly different than some of the others. That's what it is, man.
I love it, man. That's what I'm talking about. I can't wait to hear your show, man. Honestly, thanks again, brother, for tuning in and for joining us here today and for being part of the show, man. You made the show even that much better, and I can't wait for you guys to face off. We got about 2 months, man, so it's gonna be fun. We're gonna enjoy ourselves and do our thing, gentlemen. Or I'm sorry, Robert Green. You have a wonderful rest of your evening, man. God bless you. Take care, man. God bless you and the family. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, and we'll talk to you soon. All right?
Hey, same to you and yours, Colin. Y'all take it easy, man.
All right, take it easy, Rob.
All right, y'all. Was once again Mr. Robert Green. That was awesome, y'all. We aren't even going to take no breaks. We're going to segue right into it, man. We're about 10 minutes late. My bad, Colin, but we're going to jump into this thing right now and get it going, brother. So with that said, he needs no introduction. The man jumped in, was ready to rock and roll. Ladies and gentlemen, this man does so many cool things on his Facebook account. It's awesome. He's out there driving boats around and Colin is just Colin, man. Free spirit doing this thing, man. You, him, and his lovely wife. You guys do a lot of awesome stuff, man. That's awesome, man. I love it. You guys are living the dream together, and it's a beautiful thing, man. So, brother, I'm glad to have you here. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcoming. He, of course, is proud member of the IE Sports Radio family, and, of course, diehard Saints fan. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcoming the only Fat Mac, Colin Reynolds. What's going on, Colin? How's it going, brother?
What's going on, big brother, man? Hey, bro, I'm excited to be on just to talk some sports, man. Glad you hit me up, bro. I'm kind of disappointed. Missed the fantasy league, man, but, it's all good. But, man, I pray that you and your family, everybody's doing great during this pandemic,
Hey, brother, I appreciate that, man. And I'm bummed out, too, man. I know you're a tough guy to read sometimes, man. You got a lot going on, brother. You're just doing your thing, man. You're reading the gospel. You're doing a lot of things, man, with church. You do a lot of awesome things, brother. And I admire that absolutely. So I just got to say that's awesome. And keep doing what you do. And like I said, it happens, man. It's all good. We can bring you in, when it comes to more stuff. And we can bring you in for many more things, but I'm bummed out about you not being in the fantasy league either. But it's all good, brother. Next year, man, we'll get it going. Everything's going to be just fine. But here we go, man. Saints football. All right, so first things first, man. We have to, of course, save the champions, the defending champions, for last. You guys, man, look like the real deal, man. I mean, again, the Saints... It's that Saints gumbo, man. I mean, you heard Robert Green right now telling you that, yeah, you know what? His Bucs are coming. You have John Felipe earlier saying, you know what? He doesn't want to eat his words, but he thinks his team is going to look pretty good. And then you have the Falcons fan from earlier today, the first time on the show, and this was cool, man. Mr. Low Country, man. That was awesome, man. He was cool as can be, man. But bringing on Mr. Big Low Country. And he said to tell all of you, including you, Colin, that his Falcons are coming.
Oh, okay. All right. All righty, then.
Colin says, I'm not even going to comment.
It's no need to, Larry. No need to.
So, down to the bayou, man. Let's get going, man. First things first. Last year, the Saints did their thing. I know they fell short. I know there were some things again. unfortunately, the last couple of years haven't been too kind to you guys. But, man, Breeze last year breaking records. I mean, you guys just look good again. Colin, walk us through every emotion last year.
Well, Larry, it was very, very, very tense in the beginning of the year, man. Breeze goes down. We don't know how the season's going to turn out. Man, Teddy Bridgewater came and manned the ship like no other. Actually earned himself a major contract, got back in the game mentally. He was already back in the game physically, but I think after that second win, it got Teddy back to being Teddy. Mm-hmm. And he manned the ship to Drew came back. Drew came out of stretch, brought us to the playoffs. Up and down roller coaster, Kamara got a little banged up. Murray came and stepped in. And even our defense took a couple nicks and, bruises. And then, Minnesota, they did it to us again in the playoffs, man. So, a lot of up and down emotions. But one thing about us, man, we live by it, we die by it, and we support our Saints, man, no matter what. But this year, I know every NFL team, every fan, every owner, every coach is saying this year is their team year. And this year is going to be different for the Saints, man. It's going to be much, much different. And I like what Drew Brees said, man. Everybody jumped on Drew Brees about the national anthem and all that stuff going on, the Black Lives Matter movement, and those things should be addressed. But Brees said this year he's leaving it all on the field. He wants one more championship. He has nothing, not a thing to lose, Larry. And he just takes some plays off. And I've been real biased about admitting that. And I can admit it now because he admitted it. He's taking plays off. He's audible to check downs and handoffs to certain players so he can get that extra few minutes of air and whatever you want to call it, rest. But this year he's leaving it all on the field, man. And with a locked in and gutsy Drew Brees, with the accuracy and the first ballot Hall of Fame talent, Drew Brees, this team will be much different. But not from the offense, just the offensive side, Larry. Our defense will be different.
You know what, man? I can respect the crap out of that, man. You guys really do have something going, man. This team, it sucks to see you guys fall short. And of course, I don't want to bring this up, but man, that bogus call a couple years ago, we know, man. We know. I'll tell you that, man.
Bro, it's been 3 years in a row, Larry. The Minnesota Miracle. And I don't really call, like I told Justin, I don't really call it miracle. I just call it over gambling, not thinking about the time on the clock, not thinking about the position on the field. And it was a result of a bad defensive play, and they won it game. They won it fair and square. The next year, the bogus call, that was some BS. This is what it was. And then last year, Minnesota played a horrible game. They did not play Minnesota football. But they took advantage of our mistakes, and they won the game. So, we struck out 3 times. We struck out, but now I think we're back to the plate. We come to swing. And I know Blake will like that baseball analogy, but, we come to plate to swing, man, and we ready this year.
Absolutely, man. I'm glad. You guys are doing the dang thing, man. And Kyle, I just want to say this right now, man, on air. Brother, I mean, would you ever have enough time, man, to host a New Orleans sports show on this network, man? Would you ever?
Man, hey, I wouldn't say yes until I would have time. Now I don't, but in the future, who knows, man? Who knows? And you know from what I've been knowing you about 4 years now, 3-4 years, and man, sports is my passion. And if I could just have a time just dedicated to that, make sure that I'm all the way locked in, and have some people that can help me out with it, and that we can jump in it, man, that would be like a dream come true. Man, 3 things I love, man. I love God, I love family, and I love my sports, man. And that would be like a dream come true, man. We gonna pray on that, Larry. We're not gonna say yes now. We're not gonna say no now. We're gonna pray about that in the near future.
I'm with that, man. That sounds amazing. And you know what else? There's one more thing I gotta add to that, man. God, family, sports. There's one more thing I want to add to that. Do you want to know what the last thing that I really love is in that last part, Colin? I'm going to add number 4.
Talk to me.
It's food, brother. And do you want to know why I love food so much? Because it's like football. It brings people together. And you know what also...
I told you that, yes.
You want to know what else? What brings a lot of things together to make unique, delicious, yummy, amazingly out of this world kind of taste? Do you want to know what that is, Colin? What is that?
Talk to me. I want you to tell me.
It's that gumbo, baby. Oh, yeah.
Amen. Listen, man. This is the time of the year where it does not matter how old you are, how young you are, your nationality. It does not even matter if your team was 0-16 or 16-0. Everybody's locked in. Tonight is kickoff night, Larry. Mm-hmm. It's kickoff night, and bro, just think about this, Larry. Let's just think about this. I know time has been far spent already. Tonight, if you're a sports lover, tonight is a night to be locked into the TV. We have the Chiefs. The returning Super Bowl champs are playing tonight. We got the Lakers are playing tonight. Mm-hmm. We got Osaka playing tonight. We got Serena playing tonight. We got WNBA. What is going on? We got baseball tonight, Larry. If you're not streaming, you don't have the Fire Stick, if you don't have cable, you don't have the internet, you better get down to Hooters or something. Put your mask on. Tonight is the night for a sports fan.
It is, man. Tonight we got some good stuff going on. I'm so dang excited, man. We got a lot of going on tonight, and we're about to get down, man. So with that said, Colin Reynolds, man, I wanted to bring up that gumbo because, man, oh man, Colin. Let's be real, man. You always say it every year, man, that gumbo is unique taste. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, and that's what you related the Saints gumbo, man. You relate it, and it just comes together. Now, I want to bring that in here. By the way, Terrence says here in the chat room, high hopes for the Saints in my book. Arguably one of the most complete teams in the NFC, possibly the league. Anything short of making the NFC Championship would be a disappointment. Sorry. Don't let me down, Braves. It says, below in the bayou, the New Orleans show. How's that sound? He's trying to give you some names here, Colin, for your show, and then Terrence says here, winning isn't important, eating is. Well, winning's important, but absolutely, man, eating is delicious. But I brought up some gumbo. Reason why, Colin, is because, well, there was a lot of flavors added to this season.
Okay.
Would you say that there were some flavors added to this gumbo this year? Would you say that to the Saints gumbo?
Key ingredients. This not no Dollar Tree seasoning that was added, Larry. This is like your Publix. This is like your Whole Food seasoning that was added to the gumbo, man. I'm talking about bay leaves. I'm talking about fresh garlic. I'm talking about onion, bell pepper was added, and then it was what we were missing, but it enhanced the flavor, Larry. Enhanced.
It did. So let's get on into those enhancements, man. We had, of course, Drew Brees staying. Janoris Jenkins will stay. Emmanuel Sanders. What in the world is going on to the world, Colin? We have Emmanuel Sanders. This man looked good last year in San Francisco. And where is he at now? He's wearing black and gold, man. He's going to go in there and wear that black and gold proud and make some things happen, because guess what? He's going to be getting thrown to by, of course, the legend himself, Drew Brees. Not only is he there, Coach Payton said one time that, not trying to quote him here, but he did say that it was a mistake of letting go of Malcolm Jenkins. Well, gosh dang it, wouldn't you know it? They get him back. He is coming back to play for the Saints. That's amazing. Okay. Teddy will head on over to the Panthers, but it's okay. You guys will have Jameis now as a backup. That's cool. Kiko Alonso will stay. AJ Klein will head on over to the Bills. Patrick Robinson will stay. James Hurst will come over from the Ravens. Eli Apple and Ted Ginn, they're both on their way. Ted Ginn on his way to the Bears. Eli Apple on his way to the Panthers. We have Andres Pete will be staying. Okay, a Saint. We have Mario Edwards. He will be heading on over to Chicago. Von Bell will stay. Von Bell will be on his way to the Bengals. So there's so many different things, man. Ty Montgomery is actually on his way to the Saints now. DJ Swearinger is staying. Michael Burton coming on over from Washington. Okay. Taylor Stallworth on his way to the Colts. But still, man, I mean, all these re-signings, man. You guys have re-signed so many players, man. David Onumada. You have had Noah Spence, Dwayne Washington, Justin Hardy, Zach Woods. Okay. Ricky Ortiz, JT Gray, Taysom Hill is staying. Okay. We have the bottom here. Well, on the bottom of this whole thing, Keith Kirkwood heading over to the Panthers. But overall, look at all these flavors. You lost a few, but you added a whole bunch more, and you re-signed some of those same great tastes. Colin, what about your free agency, man? Tell us all about it.
Free agency was crazy. You know, with the pandemic, you can't really meet with players. It was nuts, man. We just missed a home run with Clowney. They were trying to do the first ever NFL sign and trade, but that's okay. We got high hopes for Marcus Davenport on the other end this year, on the other side of camp. But something that was crucial this year, Larry, that people are not really taking heed of. Cesar Ruiz, how you say his last name. He moves Pete back to left guard. Mm-hmm. And yes, I understand he's a rookie and everything, but if Drew Brees can get a few more seconds, man, he was hit a lot last year. A few more seconds can make him much, much more efficient. Our line has been one of the best lines in the league for the last few years, preferably like 10 years, to be honest. But our line is solidified now with Nick East and Will Clapp on the second and third string. It can help us out big time. And you said something that was crucial, but you missed something as well.
Okay, what's that?
Malcolm Jenkins back in the Bayou is going to be crucial, man. It's going to be crucial. But the resurgence, and I use this word real firmly, the resurgence of Janoris Jenkins, a late season pickup at cornerback.
That's right.
The Saints haven't had two nice corners for like 6 years, Larry. I'm talking about well, you have to worry about no one side. They can play the Z and the Y. Mm-hmm. And I think that this is going to be a year where P.J. Williams can actually play behind those two and be a spell corner. Stanley have to go in there and play crucial minutes and snaps, man. So I said to say, Larry, that the seasoning is not going to be all offense this year. It's going to be defense. And we're solidified at that linebacker spot this year. DeMario Davis took the lead. Man, he just took over the locker room in the field last year. Zach Bond. Remember that name, people. Zach Bond. Remember, like, we as sports fans, we always look at the people that starts the game. But it's about who comes in between the game. It makes a play. Think about it, Larry. When you are getting ready to cook something, right? Mm-hmm. Only thing you're thinking about are your main ingredients. If you're cooking a steak, you're only worried about your charcoal and your steak.
That's it.
You never thought about your marinade. You never thought about how long the steak had to marinate in the oven, in the refrigerator. That what Zach Bond is going to do. That is what Taysom is going to come in and do. That is what Deontay Harris is going to do in the run game. The in-between plays that start after the start of the game, before they put the hammer and finish the game. And then, just like you said, Malcolm Jenkins. He's going to be robbing the back, man. And if you remember, yes, Robert said something. You remember Bounty. You remember all that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But, Larry, if you have a defense that stops you from scoring, then Drew don't have to rack his mind thinking, I got to go out and score 28, 35 this week. If you have a defense that can hold you to 21 points, then we could get 3 touchdowns, a field goal, or 17 points. We get 3 touchdowns, or 2 field goals and 2 touchdowns. We can win the game. Now you don't have to worry about stressing who gets the most touches. Now you playing football. We can't outscore everyone, Larry. We tried to do that last 3 years, outscoring people. This year we will stop some people.
I'm excited for you guys, man. You guys look good. You're right. Outscoring, that reminds me of the old Peyton Manning days where they would just outscore everybody and not worry about that defense. They had a couple good players, Mathis, and for dang sure, okay, they had Mathis and Freeney, but other than that, not a whole bunch. I mean, Bob Sanders for damn sure, but it was just a few pieces there, and, you know, they would outscore you. While at the end of the day, you know, it doesn't work out too well, but look at these Saints, man. They were outscoring people, but once again, it doesn't always work. This year, man, you guys look good, and I'm so excited for that, man. So let's jump on into this draft and talk about who you guys picked up, man, courtesy of NBC.com here. Taking a look, man. The Saints, of course, Cesar Ruiz, center out of Michigan. Big boy, man. Big, tough, mauler kind of guy, man. One of my favorite pickups, man, I was listening to during the Senior Bowl, listening to a lot of the commentary, and Zach Bond is a guy that is just a damn monster. This guy is relentless. He plays good.
Man, he's gonna be crucial. He's gonna be crucial.
He is. He plays good football, and I'm just so excited, man. Wisconsin, you cannot be a punk and play for Wisconsin. I'm sorry. That is a very, very, very good football school. Wisconsin, the Badgers are always somewhere around the playoffs, somewhere around near the top, and somewhere near the top of the Big Ten. Good football team, and Zach Bond, man, is a product of that. He's going on over now to the Bayou to play. Great job there. Adam Trotman, tight end out of Dayton, got a D2 guy there, and then you got one more guy, man, Tommy Stevens, Tommy Stevens. Quarterback out of Mississippi State. So overall, man, a couple guys here. What have you seen in camp? Who do you think has got the highest? I mean, well, who do you think can make the most immediate impact? Maybe get some guys later on down the road make an impact. What do you think about this draft, Colin?
Well, like I told you, Caesar, man, he's versatile. You put a center in the guard position.
Mm-hmm.
It puts Pete back in his natural position.
It does.
And Pete, he loves to be on the left side. And with Caesar, he can play the left guard, right guard, and center. So the versatility is great. And like I said, we need Drew protected on that left side, that weak side, and Pete is going to do that this year. Then with Zach Bond, I mean, the dude from the film and the study that I have seen, he's going to be a honey badger at the linebacker position. Remember that. The honey badger at the linebacker position. Because, I mean, he's not the fastest, but he's keen at what he maps out the play. And I think that we're not lacking that, but with DeMario Davis training him and putting him on his wing, I think this is going to be a great, great pickup for the Saints for many years to come. And Troutman, he's been working out with Jared Cook and Drew Brees individually. And he's getting a lot of, what you want to say, praise. He had a couple big plays this week. We actually been practicing the Superdome like last 2 weekends, just trying to get that noise factor in. And they say this dude is in phenomenal shape, man, for a big man. So those three players, Tommy Stevens, he's not with us right now. So, but the other three, they're going to be crucial. And if you think about it, this is going to be 3 players in the first 3 rounds, because 1, 3, and 3. Think about it back in 2006. Think about it back the 2006 draft, the 2005 draft, when we made our team through the draft. You know, Reggie Bush, not the Scott Fajitas, but Scott Fajita came on in, and the people that, you know, like Terran Olmsted, we make players through the draft. And And once we get to those players that can come in right away and to put a stamp of approval on it, then you know you go to free agents and add some people. The Saints haven't really been free agent home run hitters. Think about it.
Right.
Drew Brees is the biggest free agent acquisition we ever had. The Deuce McAllister, you know what I mean? We make players through the draft. I understand first, second round picks, but think about it. If what's the biggest, I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna move on, Larry. How the Saints make players through the draft? Think about it. 7th round pick out of Hofstra, Marcus Colston. Almost was Mr. Irrelevant. So that does not say about our scouting. It says that when we draft a player, we give them fair chance to come in and show us why we drafted you, or show us why you feel like you belong here. And I think these 3 players, Bond, Ruiz, and Troutman, is going to be a Saint for a long time.
I agree, man. Man, Colin, where's that applause button? I'm just saying, Colin Reynolds, man, great job as always. Terrence says here in the chat room, I know it's got to be Terrence. Let's see, man. Thanks for tuning in, but he says it would be great. It would have been great if Colin and I did Fast Break at least one time. Sadly, it didn't pan out. Things happen for a reason, though. Okay, yeah, I know, man, but Colin's a real deal on that show, man, and I'm telling you, man, I want you to be able to join Dontarius and Davidson, man. You guys would have that'd be an awesome show talking some basketball there, but Terrence says, Drew Brees was the biggest free agent signing the Saints have had. Thanks, Chargers.
Yes, I agree.
He said, thanks, Chargers. That's what he says.
Yeah, thank you. We cool with that. Hey, we not tripping.
I know.
We got a Super Bowl out the deal.
Yeah, you did, man. So, oh my gosh, that's crazy. Yeah, of course, Taryn being a Chargers fan. But with that said, Colin, you already know the drill, man. This is always fun at the end of the segment. You know how it goes, man. There are 3 other teams in this division that you just don't like. You just don't like them. If they don't like you, you don't like them. Once again, you can respect each other, is what it is, but when it's game time, you don't like friends for 3 hours. Is what it is, but we can all be cool afterwards because football brings us together. Football is family, as Meg Renee would say in our PR department, one of our agents. But I'll tell you right now, man, this has been awesome. So, do me a favor. Talk about those 3 teams and what you think they're going to do this year. It could be nice, it could be mean, it could be disrespectful, however you want to be, man. Have fun with it, enjoy it, be realistic, whatever you want to do. And then, of course, end it off with how you think those Saints are going to do and do your thing, man. Let's do it, y'all. Without further ado, Colin Reynolds, stick it to him.
Well, first and foremost, I got to give a shout out to my boy in the ATL, Jelani JB Bodie. Hey, that's my boy, man. But his Falcons, they're doing the best social distancing ever in the history of social distancing from the Lombardi Trophy. Great pickup though, Ty Gurley. I mean, he has a point to prove. Great pickup. So I'm looking for that matchup with him and our linebackers this year. Trying to get to that second level, honestly. But I think they're a couple years away from being back to the Falcons that was in the Super Bowl a few years ago. I can't stand the Dirty Birds. I hope they don't score not a point on us. Mm-hmm. I hope that they get in traffic when they come to New Orleans. I hope that they catch a flat tire the morning of the game. I mean, I just don't like the Falcons. I can't stand those guys. They just do something to me. Shout out to my man. Oh man, I can't not talk bad about this guy, man. Shout out to Teddy Bridgewater, man. And thank you, Teddy, man, for what you did for the city. What you did for the kids, man. A lot of the kids miss you, Teddy, riding your bike through the city, man. But just do what's best for you and your family. And I know John Felipe is probably cringing in his skin right now because I'm about to rag on his Panthers. But listen, if Christian McCaffrey was the quarterback, running back, fullback, DN, cornerback, free safety, strong safety, then I say they're going to the Super Bowl. But Christian McCaffrey can only do what Christian McCaffrey is able to do. Hey, he's 99 on Madden, though. But listen, 99 Madden rate cannot get you a Super Bowl when you got everybody that's mediocre around. Oh, sorry. Teddy Bridgewater doesn't pass the ball past 20 yards on the field. So, I mean, I like Teddy, but I'm sorry, Teddy, I mean, what are you going to do? You going to throw the Robbie Anderson? I mean, the old man Robbie Anderson? Yeah, he speaks to him, but he's not sure hands. I don't know what to say about that. And y'all messed over Cam. Y'all, I'm sorry. This payback is for Cam because I respect Cam for his work ethic. So, we got to give you a whooping for Cam. 2 times. Sorry, John. And, the Hall of Fame matchup. Twice in 1 year. Brady, you didn't get enough when we select you years back when you came in. When Randy Moss was in the Superdome and Randy Moss thought that he was going to the... never mind. But listen, you in the heat, Brady. I know the Tampa Heat is getting you. You better touch the Zell to shave your head a little lower, man. But listen, it's going to be 2 great showdowns. I'm loving the pickup with Fournette. You gave the New Orleans boy another chance. I mean, Jacksonville just rolled him off like he was a piece of cake. I mean, a beignet. But it doesn't matter. Listen, You got Gronk. You got Gronk off of Miami Beach, and you got him out of the commentator desk. I mean, what is Gronk? Is Gronk going to actually do anything? I mean, you had to bring your girlfriend with you. I mean, I'm sorry, but I feel that this year is going to be a great year for NFC South rivalries. The Saints has a connection to every team. And not just because y'all are opponent, but we have something built up inside of us for you guys. Mm-hmm. And Larry, I want you to just have a moment of silence for what we're going to do to not just the NFC South, but to the league. You have a locked-in Drew Brees, a 99 Michael Thomas. Somebody lied on Kamara, say he was holding out. That was not the Saints that leaked that. Just want people to know that. And you have a Saints defense that's solid. Not strong, but solid as a rock. 5 seconds, moment of silence. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in on today's show. Because the NFC South and the NFC is in trouble. And the NFL as a whole will be tasting gumbo, etouffee, beignets, snowballs, whatever you want. We got it. And this year, we locked in and anchored down. Who that, baby?
Who that? Who that? Who that's ain't gonna beat them Saints? There we go, brother, all day, man. I'll tell you right now, you guys are getting down. This team is strong, they're tough, they're powerful. Whatever other adjective you want to use for pretty damn good, bring it out. Because this team is good, man. They're ready to rock and roll. I'm excited for the Saints this year, man. Colin Reynolds, man, ladies and gentlemen, one more time, Colin Reynolds, man. This man right here, taking time out of his busy day, doing his thing. And by the way, Colin, Terrence says here in the chat room, Jelani said on his show, and I asked him, he said he doesn't want to debate with you because there's quote-unquote no debate.
Listen, man, if everybody that's listening in the chat room and everybody gonna hit a rebroadcast or whatever, one thing about me, I give credit where it is due. That's one thing. I'm fair. And I take constructive criticism. If I'm wrong about something, correct me, and I will not apologize. But I'll listen to you. But when I'm right, I'm putting all 10 toes, 10 fingers, every knuckle, every elbow, every syllable that I can in your face. And I am a die-hard sports fan.
That's right.
So if it's Saints, I'm about it. Pelicans, I'm about it. Anywhere LeBron James go, I'm about it. I'm a Chicago Cubs fan. I'm about it. I'm a Serena fan. I'm about it.
Right.
I'm a Tiger Woods fan. I'm about it.
Sir.
So wherever you want to talk about it, let's do it. I'm telling you, I'm locked in and anchored down. Let's do it.
I'll win it, ladies and gentlemen. Go and get Colin Reynolds. Man, that was incredible, brother. Always, man, I appreciate you stopping by, being a part of today's show, and just doing your thing, man. You know the drill, brother. Where can all these die-hard Saints fans out there find you, football fans, whatever, man? Let everybody know the spiel, man. Give it to them.
Hey, man, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram at FatMac_K. That's FATMAC_K. That stands for Faith in Trials Make a Christian. With helping hands and loving hearts, we can make the world a better place.
That is absolutely right, man. I'm so excited for this. We got some great things coming our way, brother. And I'll tell you what, man. This is just, I'm glad that you're a part of it, man. We're doing our thing. That's right, man. I love it. I love it when you say that, man. That's right. I mean, helping hands and loving hearts make the world a better place. This is about as true as it gets, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, go and follow the Fat Mac himself. Go and follow Mr. Kylan Reynolds, man. Great stuff. He says here, I really can't wait for the face-off against Colin in Week 5. Oh, you're going to be taking on Taryn in Week 5 and play the Chargers. How you feel about that, man?
Taryn, listen, I see your post, man. I see your post. And I love your enthusiasm. I really do. But listen, only thing I will say, because like I told you, I'm honest, I got Keenan Allen. I got him on one of my fantasy league. But listen, Week 5, going down.
Oh, man, you've been cracking me up, man. With that said, brother, I'm so glad you were able to join me here today, man. Join us here today on today's show. That was awesome. Take care, man. God bless you and your family. God bless you and your wife. Have a wonderful rest of your day, your evening, man. enjoy yourself. And, well, looks like Raiders and Saints getting down in week 2. I think you and me should have some fun on the show, man.
Hey, Larry, sign me up. Hey, man, you don't even listen. You're the only person that has a rubber stamp with my signature. So go ahead and stamp me on every face-off you need me on. You hear me?
There we go, brother. I'm down for it, man. Let's do it next week, man. With that said, take care, man. As I mentioned, God bless you and your family, man. You and your wife. Have a wonderful rest of your week, brother. Have a wonderful night, and I'll talk to you next week.
Yes, sir, man. You do the same. You be blessed.
All right, man. Be blessed. Take care, man. Thanks again.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Colin Reynolds, man. That was awesome, as always, man. I have the best guests in the world. I don't even care. These guests are amazing. It is what it is. Hashtag my best together than your best. I don't even care. I can say it. We get down, man. Great people here. I'm so happy. Thank you to everybody on today's show. Mr. Robert Green. Thank you to Mr. Colin Reynolds, of course. Thank you to Mr. John Felipe. And thank you to Mr. Big Low Country. Great guy, man. Great people and just, awesome show. So we now have 28 teams down and only 4 more to go. Those 4 teams will be covered on Saturday, 9 a.m. to, 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 p.m. Eastern. I might even go earlier than that, just because. I mean, if we go, my girl and I want to get the day started. So if you're listening, baby, I love you. But I think we want to make sure we're doing our thing, y'all. Right now, we're doing a lot of schoolwork and the whole bit with, just getting through all that, and so of course that comes first. So we got to make sure we plan this out for the show. But we should be good for Saturday morning. Might even be 8 p.m. Pacific time, 11 p.m. Eastern. 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Eastern. So we will find out. But with that said, y'all, we could even go even earlier than that. But that said, we're going to take ourselves a short break. And when we get back, it's time for that final weigh-in. I will tell you a lot of bit about who I think is going to win it this year. Surprise, surprise, it's the Saints. But I'm going to tell you this year how I think everybody's going to do. And then we'll go ahead and get on into that and get ready for Saturday's show as we conclude with the NFC North. NFC week will be in the books. We'll have all 32 teams in the books, and then we can get on full time, of course, as we already started that last night, with 3 and Out, y'all, with the regular season edition. So with that said, y'all, that will do it, and I'll be back in just a few minutes to give you my final weigh-in. You are listening to 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days. NFC South edition right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that sports. We'll be right back after this.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Vince Wright, the sports governor from the great state of Minnesota, and I want to thank you for listening to Sports Done Right. Make sure you're checking us out on all of our platforms, whether it's Spreaker.com, XSquadAffiliates.com. We're also heard on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, so keep it tuned here. More great things coming from Sports Done Right.
Here comes the pitch, and it comes in wide.
On the BS3 Sports Show.
Welcome to the BS3 Sports Podcast. We hope your experience with us is amazing. Sports talk, comedy, social issues, and more. BS3 is the best source. Can you dig it, son?
Motor City, Detroit, stand up. This is the Mitten Sports Podcast Show with AW covering Detroit Mitten Sports from your Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons. Also, Michigan State Wolverines and the Michigan State Spartans. Listen to me every Sunday right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. What up, though, Detroit?
Hey, what's up, BS3 sports fans? If you love listening to the BS3 Sports Show, check out the weekend wrap-up every Monday at 12:15 Central Time, 1:15 Eastern, recapping the weekend in sports like you never heard it before. Comedy, interactive chat room, it's a must-listen. Weekend wrap-up on Spreaker.com, part of the X Squad. Check it out. You won't be disappointed.
What's good, fight fans? It's your boy, Marcus Los Great, here to give you what you want, here to give you what you need. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm coming to you live, straight from your mama's basement with a crispy, awesome white tea. They're coming to you live every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Powered by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's going on, football fans? This is me, your boy Larry B, inviting you to join myself, Colin Reynolds, Mike Pat, and John Felipe for one of the most electrifying football shows you have ever heard. 3 and Out, right here at IE Sports Radio. Recap of the week before, a preview of what's to come, and of course, 3 hardcore head-to-head prime-time face-offs each week. You don't want to miss it.
You most certainly don't want to miss it. It's a great show. It's a party, baby. Oh, yeah. I'm excited, man. We have ourselves something going here great, and I'm excited. 7 seasons, y'all. This is our part of our season 7 premiere of 3 and Out. I mean, incredible, y'all. We've been around 7 seasons, 6 years now at IE Sports Radio, 7 seasons total this year for 3 and Out, and this has been amazing. So I just want to thank everybody who's been listening, man. Thank you to all of us. Thank you to everybody, y'all, our entire team, to everybody, all you listeners out there, everybody. We appreciate y'all so much. I always say God first, y'all. Number one above all. Without Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, we are nothing. I am nothing. None of us are nothing. So all glory to God. And of course, to all you guys out there, thank you very much. And y'all know what time it is. It's time to kill the music, because we're out of here, y'all. With that said, it is very simple to say, there's no way I'm not taking those Saints. I mean, I'm sorry. It is what it is. We're calling in the chat room right now saying Vince Wright is going to have his 200th episode for Sports Done Right. Wow. Hey, congratulations to Vince Wright, man. He's done a lot, man. So big up to him, man. Big shout out to him, of course. The IE Sports Radio Hall of Famer here, former member of IE Sports Radio. Great dude, man. Once again, former member of IE Sports Radio. Great dude, man. So lots of love. Big shout out to Vince Wright. Thanking everybody in the chat room today, of course. Terry Rodriguez, BS3 Sports, man, Ben Sarah the Third, of course, all of everybody listening. Thank you all so very much, and we appreciate y'all. Let's get on into it. Starting from the bottom up, I just don't see it, y'all. I want to see this team do well, but I don't think they're going to do super crazy well. I got the Falcons going anywhere from 7-9, 8-8, 9-7 possibly. This whole entire division has a high ceiling. But if they can get better, if they can continue to get better, I'm going to have them in that range. I also have the Panthers in that range as well. 7-9, 8-8, 9-7. I'm telling you, this whole division is damn good and it's so unpredictable. So I'm going in that same exact range that they can be right there. Also, I'm going in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to be anywhere from 8-8 to 10-6. I think that is pretty good. 8-8 is actually fair. They got a lot of talent. But can they do it? Can they defeat these Saints 2 times? If they could be 10-6, that'd be awesome. I think they can make the playoffs that way. I think they could definitely make it. But once again, they have to prove it. They're a paper team right now. They got to show it. And of course, the New Orleans Saints, guys. I got them anywhere from 9-7, 10-6, 11-5. I don't know if they'll be more than that, but regardless, they're going to do enough to get in the playoffs. They got Breeze. They've got an amazing set of players, and they're fair. It's fair to say, I think, there's some fair records. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. And I think that's how the NFC East will end up this year. Lots of revolving records and the whole bit, but regardless, that is, I think, in my opinion, pretty darn fair to say for those ranges of records. I could be completely wrong. It's all about opinions. That's what this whole thing is. It's opinions. But regardless, I hope you all enjoyed the show. We now have 28 teams down and just 4 more to go. Once again, Saturday morning, be ready for the post and everything. I'll post that up. Tonight, we got football, y'all. Just 2 hours and 20 minutes away from kickoff. We're ready, y'all. Kicking off the season, raising the banner in Arrowhead Stadium. Here we go, y'all. It is time for Houston Texans versus Kansas City Chiefs. Terrence says, great show, Larry. Well, thank you, man. Thanks for tuning in, brothers. Keep on doing the great work yourself, man, with all your great shows. Ladies and gentlemen, tune in every week. Terrence Rodriguez, man, the SoCal Supreme Sports Show and Set Point. Always great stuff there. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. This is your boy Larry B signing off. I will catch y'all on Saturday. Until then, take care, and as always, God bless.